Hello and welcome to NXTGEN Racing, the home of clean and fair sim racing for all.
Good evening racing fans and welcome back to NXTGEN Racing TV, live on Facebook and live on YouTube. You join us for Thursday night racing, the GT3's Season 8. This series and this organisation of NXTGEN Racing proudly sponsored, affiliated with PowerMax Racing, Mark Sykes Designs, Benji Sim Photos, Motorsport UK Esports, Sam Cases, Moser Racing, Joyce Design, Falconer PC and Doublemite Motorcycles. This is, as we mentioned, the GT3's in its 8th season, and I've been commentating this since Season 5, and it's good to be back for a 4th season. My name's Alex Everett, your commentator for this round and the remaining rounds. We've just headed out of the second of 3 endurance rounds of this championship, a 10-round championship. We head into round 7 of the championship now, back to the sprint and feature race formats. We'll have a 20-minute qualifying session to start us off on the hour coming up very shortly, and that will follow with a 20-minute sprint race and then a 60-minute feature race featuring one scheduled pit stop to round off the night. This is traditional GT3 racing. It features 3 different formats, as we mentioned: sprint racing, feature racing and endurance racing. So all skills of GT3 racing is needed in this series, and if you still want to get involved in this series, there are rounds left and there are spaces in this championship, although it is a very big grid to say the least. You can still get involved if you scan the QR code to the off center of our screen here now. That will give you access to NXTGEN Racing's Discord server. From there you'll meet the drivers and meet the admins, and you'll be able to see all the communications and announcements that come with NXTGEN Racing. If the QR code is inaccessible to you right now, then feel free to click the link in the description of this video, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. So these are the tracks we are racing this season, and we're in round 7 right now at Laguna Seca. We're on the Monterey Peninsula of California State in the United States of America, but our season started off in Japan for the Fuji International Circuit, round 1 of the championship. Round 2 we were in Europe for the Red Bull Ring, hosted in Austria, and then round 3 was the first of 3 endurance rounds of the championship, and that was hosted at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Italy was the destination for round 4, and it was Imola circuit in East Italy. And then into Britain for round 5 of the championship, hosted at the untraditional GT3 circuit that was Thruxton, and it did feature quite a dramatic night. And last time out at Daytona Road Course, it was the second of 3 endurance rounds of the championship. That round was 2 weeks ago from today, and we return after a break, and we are heading straight for the end of the season from here on. 4 weeks to finish off the season. We've got 3 sprint and feature race rounds to go, and then the season will finish with an endurance round. But today we are at the Laguna Seca circuit in California, as we mentioned, but next week we're heading back to Britain for the Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit in Kent. And then round 9 we're heading to the Eifel region of West Germany, Nürburgring GP. The Grand Prix circuit will host round 9 of the championship and will be our final round of the sprint and feature race formats. And then the final round, as we mentioned, the third of 3 endurance rounds of the championship will be hosted at the Sebring International Circuit, made famous also for the Sebring 12 hours. So that'll be a very interesting final round of the season. So as we mentioned, this is a GT3 championship, and it features these GT3 cars, a wealth of machinery in this class now on iRacing. And these aren't all the GT3 cars that are actually available on iRacing. There are some legacy cars, but these are the ones that the drivers have to choose from in this season. They are the Acura NSX, the recently released on iRacing Aston Martin Vantage, and we do see a couple of them in the field, the Audi R8 LMS Evo 2, BMW M4, the Chevrolet Corvette Z06, Ferrari 296, the Ford Mustang, Lamborghini Huracan, the McLaren 720S, the Mercedes AMG and the Porsche 911. All cars are available to choose from. However, drivers have been swapping and changing cars, probably more so this season than any other season. But if you swap cars, particularly if you wanted to go with the newer Aston Martin, which looks and sounds great, it does come with a cost. The penalty of 50 points is deducted from your championship total, and that will set you back those 50 points, as we mentioned, if you decide to switch to cars midway through the season. And there are quite a few drivers who have switched cars for tonight and have switched cars during the season, and I'm sure we'll go into those details as the night runs on. But tonight, as we mentioned, we're here at the Laguna Seca circuit in Monterey, California. It is a 2.2 mile circuit, or 3.6 kilometers, and it's a very, very iconic shape. It's one of those tracks where you look at it, you know exactly what track it is right from the word go, and it's not a Formula 1 track either. Normally it's Formula 1 tracks you can instantly recognise, but this isn't one of them. It used to be in Formula 1, and it used to be quite a simple layout, but this 11 corner circuit features one section, I would say, two corners on this track that are iconic in motorsport, and it's iconic and notorious as being one of the more dangerous and daring corners in the world. It is the Corkscrew, of course. At the near north end of the circuit, turn 8 of this circuit features the Corkscrew corner. It is a dramatic drop down a steep hill through a very slow corner. It's incredibly difficult, not just in real life but in sim racing as well. We might see quite a bit of drama featured there tonight, and we'll find out how tonight goes in that sense. But as we head into tonight, there is a championship, or there are 4 championships at stake tonight as we head into this 7th round of the championship. And we'll start off with the Gold Championship. So there are 3 categories in this championship. They're all based on the section skilled of the drivers. The top third of the field typically go into this gold category, middle third of the field go into the silver category, and the lesser experienced drivers will typically go into the bronze category. And there is also a team's championship. But we'll start with the gold category. It is season 6 champion Benji McCluskey, who came so close last season. I know I mentioned it every single round. I sound like a broken record, but it was the story of the end of last season. Ben McCluskey is well on course to get that number 1 back. He's got a 30-point lead over Harry Langford as we head into the final 4 rounds of the championship. Harry Langford, who had a slow start to the season with him missing round 1, but when the drop round got implemented, his consistency and great results, particularly last time out at Daytona, getting 3rd place and the fastest lap, it has rewarded him with 2nd place in the championship. So, well done to Harry Langford indeed. And Dominic Pester, who led quite a lot of the season, but in the mid part of the season, a lot of penalties came his way, particularly at Thruxton, and it has led him to falling far down the order. Well, further down this order, actually, I should be fair in saying. And he is 11 points behind in 3rd place. Stefan Wessels in 4th place. He had rotten luck this season. Fuji, he was taken out twice in the opening round there, and at Thruxton, no points there for him being a missed round. So he's got a lot of catching up to do still, but the defending champion, it is getting slimmer and slimmer are his chances of defending that championship as rounds go by. Jack Pittas in 5th position. He's got a quite healthy lead in that 5th position over Gaz Williams in 6th place, who has gained up the order in recent rounds. Likewise has William Guthrie. He was the winner of the endurance round last time out, and the reason William Guthrie is so far down the order is because he only entered the season from round 4, so considering he's 7th at this point after only participating in 3 rounds is really impressive. So let's see where he can get up to before the end of the season. He's racing tonight, he's 3rd in practice, so it's worth keeping an eye on him as he heads in tonight as the most recent winner. Brandon Schmidt in 8th position, followed by Carl Griffiths and Lucas Seedor rounding off the top 10. Silver category next, and it is a big lead for Brandon Vincent-Squibb. It is a 58-point lead. I think that's 58. Think so, yep. It's a lead of some big margin like that, and more to the point is he has got more than a round's worth of points in the bag at the moment, so he can afford a few bogey rounds here and there. He can afford a missed round if he really wants to, but a huge lead for Brandon Vincent-Squibb. You can definitely say he's got one hand on the trophy as he heads into this crucial part of the season, where actually at this point there's only 7 individual races left in the season. So yeah, it's very, very interesting, and he could, well, get his hands on that trophy 1 round early, which is only 2 weeks away. So let's see how he gets on for these rounds coming up. He's quickest in practice at the moment in the silver category, and 2nd place, Jason Raaf has come out of nowhere. A fantastic round last time at Daytona, getting 2nd place. I had him down as a winner there, but no I didn't. I had him down as 2nd place. He did very, very well there. He nearly won last week, but 2nd in the championship also heading into tonight. He's got a 10-point gap over Matthias Smolny, who was moved from bronze category and into silver category partway through this season, and he's in the top 3 at the moment. Alan McCain has slipped down the order a little bit, 4th place for him, just ahead of teammate Stephen Fry, who has definitely been one of the more improved drivers of the overall season here. Phil McDougall, a former race winner this season, is 6th position, followed by Wojciech Kerp. Matthew Addy in 8th position, and last week's winner at Daytona, Bartosz Makoda, who has also entered late in the season, is 9th. Jeffrey Kruger in 10th position. Bronze category next, and it's Oliver Forsström in the lead of this championship. He has led for the majority of this season, since round 2, I do believe. He has a 16-point lead over Samy Ariba, but Oliver didn't have such a good round last time at Daytona. It was a bit of a struggle for him. Samy Ariba actually had a pretty good round last time, and he's 2nd place and gains on the leader of this championship. Stein Vatens is in 3rd position with Stephen de Gravelia. He's been a bit quiet this season, but a 4th place and only 14 points behind 2nd. So look out for Stephen de Gravelia. There are some consistent points results coming through for him this season. Robert Savage in 5th position, followed by Zara McGuinness. Zara had to miss the last round at Daytona, and it has cost her quite a bit, but Zara has been one of the standout drivers in bronze category this season, so look for a comeback tonight maybe. Jonathan Berry is 7th position, with Jochen Seeger in 8th position, Elwin Sykes in 9th position, and Kurt Van Honegger is 10th. And last week's race winner, Gabriel Papaconstantino, was his first round of the season last week, so he is well and truly out of the top 10 at the moment. But it was a good performance from him. Quetemas Motorsport leads the Teams Championship, and I don't think they've won a Teams Championship yet in the NXTGEN GT3, so this could be the making of something great for them. They've got a fairly substantial lead of 32 points over Mission R in 2nd place. CSE Team Woza is in 3rd position, with Mission R powered by Mords in 4th, and Sorrento Motorsports 5th. That's the Teams Championship and the Category Championships as they stand heading into tonight. So we head trackside. We've got a couple of minutes before practice, so let's just have a little look at the practice standings. So we can see 2 of our championship leaders are leading in their categories at the moment, but in the bronze category, our championship leader is not on the standings right now. But by the looks of it, Oliver Forsström might well be having a drop round tonight, so it's an opportunity for other drivers in bronze category to get some points back, particularly Jonathan Berry, who missed a few rounds this season, so Jonathan Berry will be looking to get himself into the better positions. I had him down as one of the favourites to win the bronze category this season, but it hasn't quite turned out that way. But in the gold and the bronze, it's McCluskey leading at the front as he usually does, but he's very closely rivalled, as usual, by Stefan Wessels and William Guthrie and Harry Langford. And Brandon Vincent-Squibb over half a second gap in the silver category, 8th place overall as well. And the reason I mention overall is because it is very, very important to note that in the qualifying session coming up, ladies and gentlemen, the overall standing in qualifying will set the grid for the sprint race. And you might think, well, how special is that? Because that usually happens in motorsport. It is, but it means that all the categories are going to be mixed into one grid. And that only happens in the sprint races here. The feature race later on tonight, we get this on the screen, the feature race later on will be split into their categories, so they'll start in 3 separate groups, but it'll be the results of the sprint race for each of the categories reversed. So the winner of each category will be sent to the back of their group to start the race, the feature race. So we do see a lot of overtaking, particularly in the early doors of the feature races, and the sprint races we do see a lot of inter-category battles. Okay, so qualifying coming up very shortly, and Laguna Seca, well, quite an interesting track to be chosen on this calendar this season. It's quite a short track, it's quite a narrow track, only 1 minute and 20. It's not the shortest track on the calendar, but it has been noted by the drivers and mentioned to me quite a few times that it is the track that's probably more difficult to overtake on. There are really 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 overtaking spots at a push. As we see Gavin Gardner off into the gravel there with a very big spin there. But turn 1, the Andretti corner, maybe turn 3 will be an overtaking opportunity, maybe turn 5 and maybe turn 11. But it is tricky to overtake here at Laguna Seca. So it's going to be interesting. It means that pit strategy, particularly in race 2, is going to be of importance. Picking when you stop is crucial. drivers at this point in the session learning how to get into the pit lane, because it is quite a narrow and tight entrance into the pit lane. You see it quite a lot in IndyCar as well, and when they're racing here the latter part of their season. But it's a very sharp brake into the heavy left-hander to get into the pits, and you're straight on the limiter. So it's very easy to have an incident there. It's very easy to go a little bit too hard through that corner and go over the speed limit. It's quite early in the morning in virtual time here at Laguna Seca. We actually had the lights on the cars, and it was quite low visibility out there. But the sun is rising here in California. About as west as we can go when it comes to motor racing. And a legendary circuit. It used to be kind of an oval shape as well. This section of the track wasn't featured in this track in its very early days. It skipped the Andretti corner and went straight on towards the next section. So it was quite a fast, oval-like circuit back in the day, but much more technical nowadays. And of course, the off-tracks are quite worth mentioning, actually, because going off-track here, going over the curbs a bit too much, or just running over the white line a bit too much, does get you onto the gravel. It will slow you down a lot, and it will push a lot of gravel and sand onto the track. That's going to be a crucial factor tonight, because on iRacing, that is highly effective nowadays. So that will upset the driver's grip a little bit out there, so they've got to be adaptive here at Laguna Seca, probably more so due to the dust and the gravel, more so than a lot of other tracks this season. So they head out for qualifying. It is overall basis qualifying. We will monitor the category standings for the start of qualifying here on our timing tower, but we will eventually switch over to the overall standings so we can see where the drivers will actually line up on the grid in the sprint race. But it is important to keep an eye on category standings as well, because pole position in this series gets you 1 bonus point, and at this point in the season every point is crucial. So quite a lot of drivers in the server tonight, and actually our championship leader Oliver Forsström is in the server, albeit a bit late, but he is in. There's a couple of drivers who do regularly turn up late. I don't think Oliver is one of them, but there's a couple of suspects I've seen turn up now. It's good to see them, good to have them racing. We'll surely mention their names at some point tonight. But for now, let's do an onboard lap of Laguna Seca Circuit, on board with Benji McCluskey. So here we go, down the start-finish straight we go. We'll head over the hill, through turn number 1. It'll be downhill, braking into the Andretti hairpin. Let's see how low we go down the gears. Taking a little bit of the run off there, and trail braking into the corner, down to first gear, hugging the inside as much as possible, and then on the throttle as soon as you can straight line the exit. Into turn number 3, the right hander here. One of the trickier corners on the circuit, but satisfying when you get it right. Into the right hander, turn 3, very difficult corner because you can brush off too wide. Oh, and McCluskey did have to lift a little bit. His tyres might not be warmed up just yet, though. Turn number 5 next. A cambered corner. You go through a little dip, and it is cambered. It does help the grip of the car as you head out of the corner, and there's a bit of runoff you can use here. But here, up into turn 6 as we enter Rahal. Big dip in the middle of that corner. It's a very satisfying corner to go through. But now we head up to the corkscrew. Let's just watch him go through it. We're about to go downhill. There. And you can't see it, and the car just gets light underneath you. And then it is continued downhill and braking through fast sweeping corners of turn 9, and now turn number 10. And already to the end of the lap, a little bit off the track there for Benji McCluskey. Turn 11 next, one of the slowest corners on the circuit. Full lock on the steering wheel, and that is a lap of Laguna Seca. Goes by in a flash. Let's see if that was a valid lap for Benji McCluskey. He does go onto the board with a 1:22. Now there's going to be more laps put in by these drivers that will go quicker and quicker. It is a track that actually will be able to warm up the tyres fairly quickly. And already a driver heading into the pits there. That's Jopi Siemens heading into the pits. Now we look at Steve de Gravelia, and behind him is one of the next-gen cars, I think. That's Gavin Gardner. He's just let by. But looking at the standings, McCluskey remains top of the gold at the moment. Jonathan Berry's put himself into the top position in bronze category, and at the moment Wojciech Kerp, who had a very superb round, I seem to remember, at Imola a couple of rounds ago, is first currently in the silvers, but the silver's currently slower than the bronze category. Do see that sometimes. And what's important at Laguna Seca is equally making sure you're in the traffic, getting yourself a little bit of slipstream, but you've also got to keep yourself out of the way. Whoa, we see a driver Neo rejoining the track there. I mean, Rob Savage rejoining the circuit there, but I am getting a lot of off tracks coming through on my timing screen to the right there, and that's just the nature of what Laguna Seca is like. It's so inviting to go off the track here. And look at all the dust kicking up already from the Corkscrew. Gaz Williams goes to the top of the standings. William Guthrie goes to the top of the standings. Brilliant time there from William Guthrie, our most recent race winner. Full Tilt's Mustang driver. And in second place goes Jack Pittas. What about the silver categories? Brandon Vincent-Squibb, who goes top of the standings. He is the championship leader by a big margin. I calculate that he could take the championship at round 9 in 2 weeks' time. That'll be at the Nürburgring. He's on course to do it. He needs some severely bad rounds for anything to get in his way at this point, I feel. There's a lot of silver drivers piling in the times here. George Stone, just the 10th off top spot at the moment. And Bartosz Pakoda, the most recent winner in the silver category. He is now 5th. I was about to say 3rd. That's how quickly things are changing here. Jason Raaf, good round last time at Daytona. He's in 3rd place. Gabriel Papaconstantino, winner at Daytona last time in the bronze category. He's nipped into 1st at Laguna Seca here in the bronze category. Quite a margin at the moment, and 11th overall. Again, we'll switch to the overall standings a little bit later on. Let's take a look to our usual suspects in the gold category. Benji McCluskey is doing another lap here, and Gaz Williams seems to be on a pretty good lap here. So is William Guthrie. We'll switch to William Guthrie. He's just behind Gaz Williams here, but Gaz Williams in the Mustang crosses the line. He goes first, but William Guthrie, what about him? He goes to first as well, and he's there by over 2/10. What about Benji McCluskey? Jonathan Berry's just set fastest time of the bronze category. He goes into 6th overall. Alan McCain now goes into 1st overall in the silvers. McCluskey not on such a good. Sectors 3, 4 and 5. Our championship leader crosses the line. Stays in 6th for the time being, and Phil McDougall with a very good lap just then. He's put himself into 1st place in silvers. George Stone did do a good lap, and he puts him into 3rd place. Gabriel Papaconstantino is about to finish off a pretty good lap here. 2nd place in bronze at the moment. He was very quick at Daytona last time out. Let's see where this puts him. Oh, straight to the top. Wow, what a lap that is. That's 5th overall at the moment for Papaconstantino. Matthew Cheverton has just put himself into 2nd place, and Adam Wilson-Weir, bronze category champion, outgoing up to 4th place overall and 4th place in gold category. What an improvement this driver has had over the last 2 seasons. Stefan Vessels is about to cross the line. He seems to be on a pretty good lap. William Guthrie is as well. We'll switch to him. Steph Vessels will go to 3rd place, and William Guthrie, was that a quicker lap time? I don't think it was. Oh, look at that bronze category, up to 6th place overall, passing Papaconstantino in the fellow Lamborghini, but not a teammate. It's Jonathan Berry in the bronze category, really waving the flag for that category. They are genuinely quicker than the silvers at the moment. Stein Vatens, he has just put in a lap to go top of the bronze category. 5th place overall, now 7th, because Phil McDougall has just put himself well and truly in the lead of the silver category, and Ben McCluskey has put himself back to the top. He is 1st now overall. This might be a little bit of a throwaway lap as he's stuck behind another car there. But the time's pouring in at the moment from everyone. Matthew Cheverton crosses the line, goes into 2nd place, but 3/10 off of Phil McDougall, who really has put in a pretty good lap there. Him and Stein Vatens in the bronze category, 7th and 8th overall. We'll switch over to the overall standings now. Actually, I feel like it's a good time, so you can still see which category, which drivers are in which categories. But we can monitor the overall standings here. Steph Vessels crosses the line. stays 5th. Invalid lap, I do believe. So that'll keep him in 5th place. And the top 5, well, it's the usual suspects in top 5. McCluskey, Langford, Guthrie, Williams, and Stefan Wessels. And there really isn't much to separate them either. And there we go. The top 14, separated by less than a second. Considering it's quite a twisty track, that is quite impressive. Just want to go back to the gap there. The gap between that top 5 is a tiny bit. A cigarette's paper over quarter of a second, which really isn't much. Barely clicked your finger in that time. Okay, so a couple of drivers not quite doing busy sectors here. Jason Raaf puts himself into 5th in category, which is 15th overall. Matthew Cheverton has put himself up to 2nd place. Too far behind Phil McDougall, actually, so that's quite a statement lap from Matthew Cheverton. He knows that this might be another season where the championship's not going to come to him. We are still waiting for it, but he is a NXTCC champion. He won the pro category Blue Lobby in this year. A series that I half commentated, the Blue Lobby, and then it switched over to One Lobby. Stefan Wessels goes to the top of the standings, we just see there, and William Guthrie just behind. 2nd place, but Wessels leapfrogging the Ford Mustangs there. And that's one of the Quatermass cars. I think that's Oliver Forsström just running off wide, getting out of the way there. But a good lap from Stefan Wessels. Oh, but Benji McCluskey half responds, but he's still quarter of a second behind Steph Wessels, who really has put in a big lap there to top the timing tower. Brandon Vincent-Squibb has put himself into 2nd place in Silver's, 8th place overall. That has all nudged Cheverton down a little bit, and the crucial thing about this qualifying session is you need to get yourself closer to your rivals in these overall standings. You haven't got the help of category grouped standings like we have in the feature race and the endurance races, and as we say that, Cheverton goes to 5th overall and topped the silver category. He's now driving that Aston Martin. He's not in the championship running, so he has switched car. And it is very strange seeing Matthew Cheverton in anything other than the Mustang, but he's opted for the Aston Martin there. A much smaller car, and probably a more agile car than the Mustang. And the amount of Mustangs in the field is actually dissipating a little bit because of the inclusion of the Aston Martin, and with other cars really coming to the forefront a little bit. There's not many Porsches now. In fact, there's no Porsches out. Oh, there's one. Alan McCain is the only Porsche driver out there now, and last season it was probably the most popular car. It's funny how things change so quickly on iRacing. One driver who has switched cars for tonight is Nigel Stock, and the reason we're looking at him because he's got a very, very nice livery on there, sponsored painted by Mark Sykes Designs. Mark Sykes is Mr. NXTGEN himself and one of the partners and affiliates of the series. And there's quite a lot of liveries in the field, including that new one of Nigel Stock that he has designed. But I'm taking a look at that one because it's my team, so... Here we go, Nigel Stock's had some... and that livery's had some screen time now. So we'll switch back to our pole potentials here. Jack Pittaf, Mr. Consistent, up to 6th place, right behind his teammate. And the reason he's Mr. Consistent, he always seems to be round 4th place, 5th place in the championship. And he is this season as well, running for the top 5 yet again this season. William Guthrie on a good 4th sector and 5th sector, so that gets him into 2nd place, but I feel there's more in the bag for William Guthrie there, as it was yellow sectors 1, 2 and 3. There's definitely more in the bag from William Guthrie. Brandon Vincent-Squibb's on a very good 2nd sector, but the rest of the lap is average at best. 11th at the moment in the overall standings, 3rd in category. Does this get him up higher? It does not. He stays 3rd. He stays 11th. Oh, but Benji McCluskey has put in a good lap there. Gets closer to Steph Wessels. Steph Wessels really did put in a benchmark lap time in the gold category here with 7 minutes to go. Nigel Stock has crossed the line. I thought it was Nigel Stock, but no, it was George Stone. Has just put himself into 4th place in silver category. Oh, and a spin there, getting a little bit too greedy on the power then, and spins it round. Adam Wilson way across this line. He goes 7th position. What a fantastic season I would say he's having. He might not call it an exemplar season. He might not call it that himself. But believe me, jumping from bronze category to gold category, that is such a mean feat. And he has done really well this season. The outgoing bronze category champion. 7th place right now. He's in good company there. Gaz Williams, looking quick tonight, is Gaz. Very quick. Goes a little bit quicker, but stays 4th position. Oh, and Jonathan Berry is just swiped away. 1st in bronze category. 16th overall. He takes it away from teammate Stein Vatens. And Jonathan Berry, I think, has won the most races this season in the bronze category. Let's just do a quick count. Yeah, he has. He's won 3 races this season to Rob Savage's 2 and Oliver Forsström's 2. He's won 2 sprint races, 1 feature race. 3 wins to him this season. And Stein Vatens takes that away from him, though, the pole position spot. Stein Vatens is going for the championship, though, unlike Jonathan Berry. He is 28 points down from Oliver Forsström, so he's got quite a bit to catch up, but it's not impossible. He can do it, and so far so good in this qualifying session. Oliver Forsström's down in 31st at the moment. 5th place in bronze, but a long way down in the overalls. Jack Pittas moves up to 4th position. Brilliant lap from him. Just 2 thousandths of a second off the top 3. And we have the final 5 minutes of qualifying coming up now. Matthew Cheverton is top still of the silver category, but it's close between him, McDougall, and Vincent-Squibb. And in the gold category, close between Vessels, McCluskey, and Guthrie. The top 15 below a second. Brandon Vincent-Squibb has gone a little bit quicker there, but stays in 3rd place. Harry Langford crosses the line. He stays 6th. It did go quicker, I think. It might have been an invalid lap. I'm not too sure. I might have missed that. But he stays in that position. He's actually been put down to a position, actually, because Phil McDougall has just gone even quicker in that silver category. He is cooking tonight. 1st place in silvers right now with a very statement lap, and 6th overall in the standings. The mean green machine doing well out there. That might have been a 1x he just got there through turn number 3. But he might not care so much. He holds the cards right now in silver category in qualifying. Brandon Schmidt is on a good final part of the lap here. Brandon Schmidt, who's had a few good rounds here and there. That was an invalid lap, I do believe, from Brandon Schmidt, so he'll have to try again. Stefan Vessels has gone even quicker, though. More than 2/10 quicker than McCluskey. Being pole position here is quite crucial because it's hard to overtake here. And Stefan Vessels, if he wants to hang on to the championship, the one that he's defending this season, he will need to put in some wins for the remainder of this season. Oh, Stein Vatens just puts in another lap to put him even further away from his rivals. He is 9th overall to 17th, the nearest rival in bronze category, Jonathan Berry, and 25th, the next nearest rival after that, in Gabriel Papaconstantino, 3rd in bronze category. So Stein Vatens really has laid down the gauntlet in bronze category tonight, coming off the back of a win at Daytona last time out. No, sorry, that was... oh, what am I talking about? Stein Vatens has won a race this season. Where was it? Sprint race. Might have been Thruxton. But this is looking good for Stein Vatens tonight. Now, the Mission R team do pride themselves on a lot of practice for this series. And it seems quite evident tonight with himself, Stein Vatens, and Jonathan Berry doing very well currently in the standings. Now, that was a quicker lap there from Steph Vessels, but it won't count. It would have had a 1x in that lap, if not more. So there is pace in the bag for Steph Vessels. And And now would be a good time to say he might get pole position in this, unless there's any surprises from any other drivers. William Guthrie definitely won't. He's in the pits. So that'll be it for William Guthrie, the Daytona Endurance winner of this series. Bartosz Makoda off to a slow start at the moment. That's not such a great lap there. Stays 6th place and 19th. But he won last time out at Daytona with an alternate strategy. And it worked wonders last time out. Adam Wilson-Weir goes up more places to 6th place in category, 7th place overall. Certainly one of his better showings this season. He's had some pretty good ones this season. We've got 43 drivers out there tonight, so a nice big field for such a small and narrow track. Steph Vessels is heading towards the line here. I've got a feeling this... yeah, this isn't quite as good a lap. He'll have one more attempt. If he needs it, that is. Harry Langford on a fairly good lap up ahead. He's right behind Benji McCluskey here as they finish off their laps. But Benji McCluskey does not go quicker. I don't think Harry Langford did either. Nope, they didn't. So they'll have to try one more time, and the checkered flag is about to come out, and Adam Wilson-Weir is not going to make it in time. This will be his final lap of the session. So he'll come across the line. He'll finish the session. He's had a good session. Let's see how much it stands. He stays... no, he doesn't. He goes even higher. 3rd position and a spin at the end to show just how hard he was pushing. But Adam Wilson-Weir into 3rd place. And Papa Constantino stays 3rd for the moment. Up into 17th goes Jamie Dory. And look at this. Stefan Vessels on a purple first sector. That's Ben McCluskey. No, that was Gaz Williams, sorry, to the side there. Very similar liveries. But Adam Wilson-Weir, what a lap to get himself into 3rd place. Bronze category champion last season. And he might well hold it. In fact, he will. There's loads of drivers out of qualifying here now. Oh, and even quicker there for Stefan Vessels. Look at that, near 4/10 quicker than anybody else. Fantastic lap there to end it from Steph Vessels. Now, there's still drivers out there. Matthew Cheverton is still out there. And this might be a lap that he will not complete. Oh, as we say that, Harry Langford has crossed the line there. And Jonathan Berry's about to as well. But Langford's gone to 8th position. And Jonathan Berry goes up 1 overall place, but stays 2nd in the bronze category. But we've seen some standout drives in this session. Steph Vessels, particularly, with that dominant qualifying pace over everyone. Adam Wilson-Weir, 3rd place, his best performance ever in the series. Phil McDougall taking 1st place in the silver category, and Stein Vatens are just leagues clear of the bronze category. So some real standout performances in qualifying there, and it sets them up nicely for this race, because the further you are in qualifying from your rivals, the further you are from them on the track, on the grid, when we start the race. And it's a difficult track to overtake on, but equally, with it being a difficult track to overtake on, it's a difficult track to stay on the track and to stay out of trouble. That's the other thing to bear in mind as well. So, as well as it's gone for some drivers already tonight, it could go just as badly wrong. Okay, so, let's go to the grid for our opening race of the night, the sprint race. Stefan Vessels, with that dominant qualifying performance, will put himself on the front row to start on the pole position, with Benji McCluskey, the championship leader, in 2nd position. Adam Wilson-Weir, with his best qualifying performance ever in Next Gen, 3rd place for him, just ahead of last week's winner in gold category, William Guthrie. Jack Bittas is 5th position, followed by Gaz Williams, and the first of the silver category drivers, Phil McDougall, taking the bonus points in category in 7th. Harry Langford 8th, with Matthew Cheverton starting directly behind the silver category pole sitter. And rounding off the top 10 is Gavin Gardner. Stein Vaten's pole position for the bronze category, but will start 11th on this grid overall, with Brandon Schmidt alongside him from the gold category. 13th place is Brandon Vincent-Squibb, the championship leader in silver category, with Craig Twaddock, who is a new driver tonight. Nigel Stock, new in the Corvette tonight, driving for the Porsche team of Crest Autosport worked that one out. 15th position with George Stone in 16th. Jonathan Berry, 17th position, second of the bronze category, with Jamie Dory alongside. Sean Shoup, 19th, from Bartosz Makoda in 20th. And it's Stephen Fry in 21st place, with Jason Raaf in 22nd. Matthias Smolny in 23rd, with Alan McCain, rounding off the 24 drivers. 25th is Gabriel Papaconstantino, with Mike Riedner in 26th. Wojciech Kerp, 27th, with Wesley Lewin alongside. And on the 15th row is Mark Baker and championship leader for the bronze category, Oliver Forsström. Matthew Addy, 31st, from Dirk Wagner. Paul Williams, 33rd, with Stephen de Gravelia. Jopi Siemens, 35th, with Matt Gatter in 36th. And then it's Josh Down, Mark Sykes, Jaroslav Pataluk, Kieran Davidson, Jochen Seeger, Elwyn Sykes and Rob Savage to round off the grid. All set to go here at Laguna Seca. It's going to be a very slow formation lap to the grid. We've just got 2 corners and then we're off and away, so not much time for the tyres to warm up as Steph Vessels leads us away. And it is literally round the next corner and then we're going green, and it is all starting together. There's a couple of drivers straggling at the back there. They really need to get a move on because it's going to go green very, very soon. Here we go, the lights are going to go green. Now they have. We're away for round 7 here at Laguna Seca. Not such a good start from row 3 there from Adam Wilson-Weir, and it bunched up a little bit behind him. But as we head into turn number 1, the Andretti corner, Benji McCluskey trying to power it around the outside. But Adam Wilson-Weir is sneaking to the inside of Benji McCluskey there. And there's a spin at the back. That's Gavin Gardner off the track. No one else seems to be off the track either, but we carry on through turns 1, 2 and 3 here. And look at this. This is 3rd and 4th. William Guthrie on the inside of Adam Wilson-Weir, and as we head through the corner, Wilson-Weir will have to relinquish the position and getting a little bit of grab on the exit there. It invites Jack Pittas in. Welcome to the gold category, Adam Wilson-Weir. But holds on to 4th pretty well there. It's one of those tracks where left, right corners, it means you can keep your position by holding your line and continue to the next corner. Going very wide there is Adam Wilson-Weir. Got to be super careful on these cold tyres on the gravel and sandy sections off track here at Laguna Seca. Through the corkscrew for the first time. And there was contact a little bit there, but no spin resulting in it. But there is contact back here. That's Gabriel Papaconstantino and others. It is really bunched up here at the corkscrew. Around goes Stephen de Gravelia. Contact between him and a Mishinaka, and it's bunched up here in the corkscrew. And there's loads of cars made contact, lots of debris on the track as well. That's Kieran Davidson and Stephen de Gravelia who came together. And this is a replay of it. Kieran Davidson is going to go to the inside of the outside of Stephen de Gravelia. No, he's not. He's going to hit the back. And then more hits to the rear. That sends Stephen round. Stephen was just a passenger there. And that's it. It just bunches up the whole field. Continue on. Still drivers recovering. A lot of sand and gravel being spat up by Stefan Vessels there. Have that, drivers. And a look at that, a flash of the lights from Benji McCluskey saying, yep, I felt that. But the top 7 is unchanged, apart from William Guthrie and Adam Wilson-Weir swapping positions on the opening lap. Stein Vayton still leads in the bronze category, and still leading in the silvers is Phil McDougall, just ahead of Matthew Cheverton, new in the Aston Martin for tonight. Cheverton's going to go for it here. Look at that. And Phil McDougall had to get out the way to protect his race. And contact between the two again. Round goes Cheverton. He's managed to just about keep hold of it, but he will lose a lot of positions. Now, let's get an overhead replay of that if we can. So there's Cheverton in the red car, and the green car is McDougall. Now, a tiny bit on the inside there, and McDougall does relinquish it a bit, and then there's contact between the two. They're still side by side. That's a tricky one. I'm not going to adjudicate that, although I try not to adjudicate anything on the live stream here. But that's going to be one that Matthew Cheverton might not be pleased about. He loses him a lot of places, down to 6th place in category, 17th overall. We will switch to the category standings because that's how the points are going to be set for tonight in this sprint race. But we go to Benji McCluskey here. He's gaining a little bit on Stefan Vessels up ahead. Fastest lap in the previous lap there, which was taken away actually just then by Jack Pittas, who's hunting down Adam Wilson-Weir at the moment. And at the moment, Jack Pittas is trying to hunt down 4th position because 4th place sitter in the championship right, 3rd place sitter in the championship right now, Dominic Pester, not racing tonight. Now there might be one reason or another as to why he's not racing tonight, but I'm not too sure. I'm not going to speculate on that. The statement was put out from NXTGEN, and it was related to something that some drivers from some team might have done at the last round, that we didn't see on the broadcast actually. It caused quite a stir. Anyway, I don't actually know what happened, so we'll move on. But that's what Jack Pittas is going for here. He's going for top 4 in this championship, and a good position here is going to help that. He's gaining on Adam Wilson-Weir, who's losing a little bit touch from the top 3. Vessels with a good lap, responded by McCluskey, less than half a second behind. William Guthrie also behind. He had his fastest lap of the race there. Now it's telling me on my other screen that he had the fastest lap of the race there. He didn't. It is McCluskey. He is getting super close to Stefan Wessels. Now I thought, based on qualifying, Stefan Wessels was going to have quite a firm grasp of this race. But it's certainly not turning out that way at the moment. But the thing is, between these drivers, they're so tightly knit together. It's a fixed setup series as well, so it means getting the advantage of other drivers is so difficult. Because the only thing you can actually change on your cars in this series is the brake bias. There's nothing else you can change. No right arm, no wing setting, nothing like that to get the advantage on drivers like what you normally would in an open setup official series on iRacing, like the endurance races. So it's just a man in his tools, person in his tools, to get themselves the better of other drivers. Pure driving skill out there. So check in on other categories. Phil McDougall still leads. George Stone not too far behind, 2 places down overall, but 9th place overall here, 2nd place in category. This will be one of his better results if he can keep it going. We'll switch to the category standings now, so we can monitor how they're getting on. Stein Vaten's still in 10th place overall here, but 1st place in category. He's got just 2nd behind. That's Jonathan Berry, teammate of his, not too far behind. The track is speeding up a little bit. Drivers are getting quicker. More and more fastest laps being put in by these drivers. The last lap then was the fastest lap of the race, and that was set by McCluskey. You can just see on the side of the track here also, off the racing line admittedly, but there's a lot of gravel off the track here, and look at the sparks flying off the cars. That's what Laguna Seca provides. It is such undulating racing, and the cars take a beating on this track. McCluskey getting really close under braking there, and pushing as hard as he could. Vessels there taking a little bit of gravel on the outside there, just to make sure he's using all the track and more. And fastest lap there just then by William Guthrie. This is such a close rivalry between these three. Fastest lap of the race in silver category, set by Phil McDougall just then. He has got a good grasp of the lead in this race. Stefan Vessels. Stein Vaten, do excuse me. Leading, and his teammate not too far behind. Papaya Rules in the Michelin team. Oh, let's not open that can officially. I'm sure no one wants Papaya Rules associated with them anymore. And that is a back marker just up ahead here. I believe that's Sean Shue. I doubt he's going to get in the way of his teammate here. He moves out of the way there, and he goes a little bit, even more out of the way. Kicking gravel onto the track as well, just to help everybody out. But actually, this is quite a responsive lap from Stefan Vessels. 8/10 clear, so there is response from each of these drivers out there, and that's how close these three really are in this series. I must admit, at the start of the season, Benji McCluskey, it wasn't quite as good as what it's been in the mid part of the season here. I'd say similar about Stefan Vessels as well. He had a lot of bad luck at the start of the season. This part of the season is really, really ramped up between these drivers. They're pushing even harder than they ever had, because they had to against each other. They have to. Now, in the bronze category, Jonathan Berry is now closer to Steinvaitens, his teammate, as Jamie Dory has squeezed past. This is how Jamie Dory got it. It is not the same category battle, but it's significant that Steinvaitens in the bronze category is now vulnerable to his teammate. Oh, and he just overshot it a little bit, did Steinvaitens. And that means it could get close between these two for the remainder of the race. They got a queue of silver category drivers behind as well. Brandon Vincent-Squibb, the leader of the silver category. Now, he's not under too much pressure now. He's got a healthy lead in the championship, and he's sitting in third right now. You know, a win's a win. Drivers, racers and racers be racers. They all want the win, but you've got to think about the championship sometimes in situations like this, and that'll be what Brandon Vincent-Squibb's here. He's got teammates ahead of him. He's not going to get too much involved with them, ideally. He's got Nigel Stock behind and Matthew Cheverton as well to go with it. Fastest lap just then from Stefan Vessels as we hit the halfway point in this race. Still under a second ahead, but holds that fastest lap bonus point. Stefan Vessels may, in fact will, move into third place in the championship tonight. With the absence of Dominic Pester, if Steph Vessels can get a good night in, he'll want to get closer to the likes of Harry Langford and Benji McCluskey, because currently he is somewhere between 50 and 60 points behind Benji McCluskey in the championship. This time last season, these two were within, I think it was 10 points of each other in the championship. Over halfway in this race. And this is the battle for fourth place. Nigel Stock and Matthew Cheverton. Both in new cars tonight are them drivers. Oh, and Cheverton goes for the big dive on the final corner. Nigel Stock responds by planting the throttle to get out of the corner, and there we go. He's got it back in front. The fastest lap of the race just then from, well, 3 drivers there, all in different categories then. Steph Vessels in the gold category sets fastest lap and goes over a second ahead of McCluskey, and a big dive to the inside again from Cheverton, but responding is Nigel Stock, trying to keep it in front, keeping it on the outside. He stays in front, but it was also a fastest lap then from Phil McDougall in first of the silver category, and Jonathan Berry in the bronze category. Cheverton has got Harry Langford behind here, who was looking strong in qualifying. Oh, and he slipped away, and what has also slipped away is Nigel Stock's grip at the car then, and he's stranding on the outside there. Let's just see what happened to Nigel Stock. I'm sure he won't want to see a replay here, but we're gonna anyway. I think it's just one of those where the rear just snaps on itself. There's a little bit of slipstream that would have come from the car ahead. I think that's Jamie Dory. Yep, it just gives way. It's just one of those where the car just inevitably lets go on you mid-corner. And that drops down Nigel Stock quite a few places. Vessels has got a good hold on this race now. And McCluskey is in danger from William Guthrie here. Guthrie, who won Daytona endurance race last time out. He's 7th in the championship heading into tonight, so he's got a good opportunity to get some points here and put in a challenge, maybe, for top 5 in this championship this season, if he can keep up the good results. That'll be ultimately what he's going for. Phil McDougall leading silver category right now. Phil McDougall has only won 1 race this season, and that was the feature race in Red Bull Ring, round 2 of the championship, so near 6-second lead here. This is quite a statement for the resumption of this season after the break we just had. Steinvaitens Still leads the bronze category just ahead of his teammate, Jonathan Berry. Stein Vatens has had the 1 win this season. I think it was at Thruxton. Jonathan Berry has 3 wins this season. 2 of them have come in sprint races, so he's no stranger to it. But actually going a bit wide there was Stein Vatens. And now it's side by side between the 2 teammates. And Jonathan Berry's going to have the inside as we head into Andretti corner. Oh no, he's not. Getting it just back in front there was Stein Vatens. You can see Stein Vatens under a little bit of pressure here. And there's a couple of silver category drivers and gold category driver Jamie Dory queuing up behind these. We're battling away for top spot in their category. We've got side by side between Jack Pittas and Adam Wilson-Weir as we head to the Corkscrew, and ahead goes Jack Pittas into 4th place. Trying to respond there is Adam Wilson-Weir, but he's not going to happen. This is how it resulted in that. So let's take a look to Adam Wilson-Weir. He's in the middle of our screen there. Just ahead is a back marker. Oh no, that's really unfortunate from Adam Wilson-Weir. If he could have said, oh, he should have gone left. Well, the thing is, if he swerved left, it would have put the car out of balance and he would have lost grip and spun. So he had nothing to do but to get on the brakes. Realistically, the car in front should have gotten away at a better time. And that loses Adam Wilson-Weir position. But he's still doing very, very well here. It's got to be said, top 5. There's something to shout about. But Jack Pittas into the 4th place, the place that he seems to be synonymous with. Well, he'll take that as he puts in a challenge for 4th in the championship this season. Matthew Cheverton is right behind Brandon Vincent-Squibb here, the top championship leader, just ahead. He goes to defend the inside as we head towards turn number 5. Little nudge there from Matthew Cheverton just to help Brandon Vincent-Squibb go a little bit wider. But no move yet from Cheverton. And right behind him is Jamie Dory as well. Oh, and there's a bigger nudge there heading out of turn 6. And Jamie Dory capitalises. He gets the undercut. Oh, he's trying to get the inside for the Corkscrew. And look at that, responding on the outside is Matthew Cheverton. But Jamie Dory responds on the outside, going through the Corkscrew, and then a move to the inside, going into turn 9. That's a superb move from Jamie Dory. Oh, you love to see it. And look at this, between the silver category drivers. Off the track there goes Cheverton, but he's going to hang on. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. But can Brandon Vincent-Squibb power around the outside? There's a car off there, just ahead. That is the back marker of Pataluk. But heading down to Andretti, I think Brandon Vincent-Squibb might have kept it in front here in the more powerful Mustang. But under braking, the Aston Martin has broke later. He's got the inside, and Jamie Dory spins it at turn number 1. Everyone somehow avoids them, and there he is. Oh, and the work done by Jamie Dory then. Undone now, and it's still side by side between these two. They've been side by side for half a lap now. Squibb keeps it to the inside. Oh, and Cheverton gets nudged out wide a little bit. And look at this. This is Jason Raaf getting involved. 4th place. Oh, and a big dive from Cheverton there. And Kane out of the way now is Brandon Vincent-Squibb. Oh, and he's out of control. Into the wall he goes. That is the championship leader. He's hit the wall quite heavily there, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened. There was contact between the two. Alright. Brandon Vincent-Squibb's in the black car in the middle of our screen there. Cheverton's on the outside. Oh, there was a lot of netcode there between the two, but let's see what happens here. There's a big dive from Cheverton to the inside of Brandon Vincent-Squibb. That's a huge dive, and it does make contact, and it does put Vincent-Squibb offline, and he spins it. I would think that one might be on Cheverton there. It's a big, big dive. And he wasn't alongside for very, very long. Doesn't matter how far alongside you get. If you do it at the very last second, it is quite frowned upon in racing. So Brandon Vincent-Squibb is going to limp back to the pits. And what we were saying earlier, he's going to need some rotten luck for his championship to become a bit undone here. That might be one of them. But he's got another race later on. If he can get this repaired, he can carry on. He can get himself reset for the next race. He can try and get himself in a win. dust kicked up from all the drivers heading through these corners here. Top 3 battle is still, well, it was on between Jason Raaf and Cheverton, but it's now Langford versus Raaf, both in different categories. Can Langford get past? Not at the Corkscrew. And in the bronze category, it's still close between Stein Vatens and Jonathan Berry, but no moves just yet from them. They might have seen in their mirrors their teammate fall by the wayside. But Phil McDougall, what a race he's having in the silver category. Near 10 seconds clear in the sprint race. It's a huge achievement for himself. And he might well be able to put himself in a shot at second in the championship if he can keep putting in performances like this in the sprint race here. And we are approaching... Ooh, is this the last lap or not? I didn't actually see the white flag get shown on our timing tower because I missed it, but we'll find out shortly. 7 vessels might be about to come through for a race win. Another one this season for Stefan Vessels. He's had 2. One's a sprint race and one's an endurance race. But this is the checkered flag, and it's going to be sprint race win number 2 for Stefan Vessels. He takes the open race of the night, and in second place, championship leader Benji McCluskey and William Guthrie, 3rd position. Phil McDougall is going to come through as race winner of silver category, and also Steph Vessels got fastest lap at the end of the race there just to add more points. And Phil McDougall also gets fastest lap of the race. So maximum points in this race for McDougall and Vessels. And George Stone comes through with one of his better results of the season. 2nd place for him. And coming through in 1st place in the bronze category is Stein Vatens. But dropping down quite a bit of time on that final lap then is Jonathan Berry. But he does manage to finish in 2nd place still, ahead of Gabriel Papaconstantino. This might have been what happened to Jonathan Berry. He's heading through the Corkscrew now. He's gone a bit wide there. Oh, he spun it. Well, it's just as well there's a big gap between him and Gabriel Papaconstantino. Yeah, and just as well there's a big gap to get himself back on the track. Well, there wasn't actually, because that was Bartosz Pakoda coming through. And he narrowly missed him, so Jonathan Berry might get marked down for that. But he finished 2nd on the road anyway. But our 3 race winners, Stefan Vessels in the golds, Phil McDougall in the silvers, and Stein Vatens in the bronze category. We'll go to the race results once we get them. But some drama in that opening race of the night. So, the gold category results. Provisionally, Stefan Vessels takes the win in that race and fastest lap, so maximum points from this opening round of the night. Benji McCluskey in 2nd from William Guthrie, Jack Pittas 4th from Adam Wilson-Weir, and Gaz Williams in 6th. Brandon Schmidt in 7th position from Harry Langford, a disappointing race for him in 8th. Gavin Garden 9th from Jamie Dory. Craig Twaddock in his opening race of the series is 11th, and a lap down, all non-finishers were Sean Shute and Kieran Davidson. In the silver category, a dominant win for Phil McDougall, 11.5 seconds from George Stone with one of his better results of the season. Matthew Cheverton on the penultimate lap, an incident between him and Brandon Vincent-Squibb will be in question, but he's 3rd on the road for the moment, ahead of Jason Raaf and Bartosz Pakoda in 5th position. Wojciech Kerp is 6th from Nigel Stock, who we saw took a spin midway through that race, is 7th in the end, from Matthew Addy in 8th, Mike Reedner in 9th, Alan McCain a struggle in 10th there, Jopi Siemens 11th from Wesley Lewin, and a lap or more down were Paul Williams, Brandon Vincent-Squibb, Mark Baker, Stephen Fry, and Matthias Smolny, a DNF for him. Bronze category, a dominant win in the end for Stein Vatens. He was kept honest for a lot of that race by Jonathan Berry, who had a spin on that final lap and was able to get himself back on the track and finish 2nd place, just ahead of Gabriel Papaconstantino. And Dirk Wagner in 4th position from Jochen Seeger, his teammate. Mark Sykes, Mr. NXTGEN himself, is in 6th position ahead of Elwyn Sykes in 7th. Matt Gatter 8th from Oliver Forsström, the championship leader. A disappointing race for him in 9th. Stephen de Gravelia is 10th. And a laps down or a DNF for Josh Down, Jaroslav Pataluk and Robert Savage. So there we go, that's been the opening race of the night, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, it's going to be the feature race. 60-minute race. It will feature a pit stop and it will start in approximately 20 minutes from now. So enjoy some Benji Sim photos from the last round at Daytona and grab yourself a coffee or a cup of tea, and we'll see you very shortly for that feature race.
Hello and welcome to NXTGEN Racing, the home of clean and fair sim racing for all.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NXTGEN Racing live on YouTube and live on Facebook. This is the GT3 Season 8, a season proudly sponsored, partnered and affiliated with Powermax Racing, Mark Sykes Designs, Benji Sim Photos, Motorsport UK Esports, Sam Cases, Moser Racing, Joyce Design, Falconer PC and Doble Motorcycles. Season 8, we're in round 7 at the moment, just 6 individual races to go. 3 of them are feature races, 2 of them are sprint races. We just had one previously, and we've got one more endurance round, so not many more opportunities for the drivers to get their points in, to get their championship bids over the line. And these are the rounds we have left in this championship. We're in Laguna Seca right now. We've got Brands Hatch coming up next. That's in 1 week from today. 2 weeks from today will be Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, and then in 3 weeks from today is the Sebring International circuit. Whereas hosted the 12 hours of Sebring will be the 2 hours of our final round on the 13th of November. And we'll see how things get on until then. We had the sprint race of this race just then, and some standout performances in that race, but more notably the winners of each category. Stefan Vessels in the gold category, in the silver category. Sorry, excuse me, a little bit distracted for something then. In the silver category was Phil McDougall, and in the bronze category was Stein Vatens. There were some standout performances. Adam Wilson, we're doing very, very well in the gold category as well. We're looking at him here. Got himself a good result in that gold category in that opening race. The standout performances from each of the race winners in that race as well. Now we've got the feature race coming up in just over half a minute. It is going to be based on the sprint race results, but reversed, and each category will be grouped. Don't worry, if you can't remember the sprint race results, we'll be going through the grid before the start of the next race. But the drivers who won their categories in the previous race will be starting at the back of their categories in this race, so an even bigger challenge for them on this track that is notoriously difficult to overtake on. And as we saw from the previous race, if there's a pile-up of any sort on this track, it really, really does bunch up the field and put a lot of them in danger of running into that pile-up. So, the grid for this next race of the night. We'll start with the gold category first of all. It's Sean Shute on pole position, and he'll start ahead of Craig Twardock. Jamie Dory in 3rd position, with Gavin Gardner in 4th position, and Harry Langford in 5th position, hoping to get himself a better feature race here. He's got a good opportunity being in 5th place there. Brandon Schmidt 6th from Gaz Williams, and Adam Wilson we're in 8th. Jack Pittas 9th from William Guthrie, and the top 2 in the previous race, Benji McCluskey and Steph Vessels, start 11th and 12th. But starting in 13th position, he didn't race in the sprint race, but fresh out of Tesco by getting himself a meal deal and straight into the racing seat, Ben Altria will start this race from 13th. Mark Baker will start pole for the silver category with Brandon Vincent-Squibb, who ended up in the tyre wall and losing a lap on the previous lap. He has a good opportunity to get himself a feature race win here. He's 2nd. Paul Williams 3rd from Wesley Lewin 4th. Yopi Siemens 5th from Alan McCain. Mike Reedner in 7th and Matthew Addy in 8th. Nigel Stock is 9th, and I feel we might not get enough time to get the grid done here, but let's just speed on through. Starting at the back of this pack will be Phil McDougall, the race winner from the previous race. Javislav Pataluk will start front 2 for the bronze category. And it will be the gold category starting first here. Now, I'm not sure why we're getting away so early here. It's a bit frustrating, we can't read through the whole grid, but we're going to get underway with the gold category anyway. And now we are away. Sean Shute, off he goes, oh dear, and the next gen drivers have to get around Tordock there, as it was a very, very slow start for Tordock then. But into turn number 1 they go. Sean Shute leads the way, with Jamie Dory just on the outside there, and Harry Langford is already into 3rd place there, already challenging for the top 2, and Jamie Dory is into the lead, and normally he does get into the lead of these feature races, but now silver category. Brandon Vincent-Squibb already making gains here into the 1st place here of the feature race. He needs some points back from the ones he's lost in the sprint race. Bronze category, Stephen de Gravelia gets us underway. Oh, and it's really slow into the corner there for the every other driver, but Stephen de Gravelia heads out of turn number 1 in 1st place, and championship leader is in 2nd place, Oliver Forsström here. And moving into 3rd place there is Mark Sykes. Dropping down a lot here is Pataluk. He's dropping a lot of positions from the start. Gold category, into the Corkscrew they go. Langford, 2nd place, look out for him. He's going to be one to look out for a potential win in this race, I feel, if he could get his strategy right and keep himself out of trouble. Now, at some point in this race, drivers are going to start lapping other drivers. There's a spin in the back there. That is Brandon Schmidt, and that was a spin right in front of Ben McCluskey, I think. Somehow they got away with that. Brandon Vincent-Squibb leads in the silver category. Good start to this race. He needed that. Contact between him and Cheverton put him well down the order in the previous race. Jamie Dory leads in the gold category, but let's switch over to the bronze category as they're approaching the end of their lap very shortly. Stephen de Gravelia leads. Championship leader Oliver Forsström in 2nd. Oh, missed apex there from Stephen de Gravelia. Got to keep himself calm in the lead of this race. Can do with keeping hold of that. He's in a strong place in the championship. 4th place heading into tonight. And still 4th place now after race 1 of the night. Benji McCluskey still ahead of Stefan Vessels. William Guthrie has moved up a few more places. He got himself a car between him and his rivals, McCluskey and Wessels. And look at all the gravel all over the road, heading up the Rahal straight there. And it's bouncing off the cars and off the road. Fantastic detail on iRacing, but it must be frustrating for these drivers. Vincent-Squibb still leads silver category. Alan McCain in 3rd behind Paul Williams. And winner of race 1 in the silver category, Phil McDougall, already up a fair few places. He's passed Nigel Stock, Matthew Cheverton, Mike Breedner, Stephen Fry, George Stone and Wesley Lewin to get himself into 8th place at the moment in the silver category. It's still gravel bouncing off. It's like marbles on the track there. Side by side, I believe, between Papa Constantino and Jonathan Berry. And it's like they're on a rally stage going out at the final corner there. Still in 3rd place there, though, is Papa Constantino from Jonathan Berry. He's had a good start to this race, up 4 places in category. Stein Vaten's the race 1 winner, just a few places back in 6th here. Oh, and contact back there between Jonathan Berry and Gabriel Papa Constantino, and Jonathan Berry moves through. Let's just get a replay of that. That might have been a move from Jonathan Berry. It was. So we'll see going into the next corner. Oh, it's a good exit, and that'll be what lines up the move. And there he goes, switches back and makes the dive. He's mostly on the inside, and then there's contact between the two. I feel like Jonathan Berry might decide or have to give that back, but he isn't. He's going to press on. Seems to be a bit of a rivalry between Mission R and the Aztec guys at the moment, because we saw in race 1 Matthew Cheverton and Brandon Vincent-Squibb come together, and we've just seen Gabriel Papaconstantino and Jonathan Berry come together. So, yeah. Interesting. Jamie Dory still leads in the gold category. No moves yet from Langford, but he's right behind Sean Shute. And after a slow start to the race in the BWT livery there, Tordock is trying to get himself into 3rd place here. A bad exit from that corner from Sean Shute, and he tried to split the two there, but it wasn't going to work. They're savvy to that, and Langford has got himself into 2nd place here. But right on the back of Tordock here now is Gaz Williams and William Guthrie, the charging Mustangs. Back to silver category. Oh, something's happened there. There's a big spin there from Paul Williams. So that's Alan McCain behind him. This is the replay. Oh, similar to what we saw from Nigel Stock earlier. He spins back out onto the track. Oh, that was real close. Well, that drops him well down the order. It does promote Alan McCain up to second place. Now, Alan McCain was fighting for these positions early on in the season. It's kind of dwindled away in recent rounds. But second place here, he can focus on trying to catch up potentially with Brandon Vincent-Squibb up ahead. Bronze category, just to check in on them. Still the top three. Close-ish together, with Stephen de Grevelier ahead of the pack. Now, Stephen de Grevelier, it's been a while since we've seen him win a race in this series. It's very early to tell here with pit stops and the remaining 90% of this race to go. Side by side between Matthew Addy and Mark Baker. Matthew Addy getting back in front, and Phil McDougall already into 5th place in the silver category here. This is a real good start to his race here. And this puts in the potential that he could go for second in the championship. He's 15 points behind Jason Raaf as it stands in the championship heading into this race. But it will change after this. So that's a car going off on the side there. Oh, I think that was Yogi Siemens. Yes, he spun it. Now he was in 3rd place. No longer. He's dropping well down the order. And that promotes Bartosz Makoda and Phil McDougall, 3rd and 4th. There's a lot of drivers really struggling out there. And look at that, a real good grip out of the corner there from Phil McDougall. Gets himself alongside Bartosz Makoda. And I think Phil McDougall might already be into the top 3 here. He is. Real good driving so far from Phil McDougall. Now he has to focus on catching Alan McCain and Brandon Vincent-Squibb up ahead. Back to the gold category. 1.8 second lead from Jamie Dory. Harry Langford is now in 2nd place. As Sean Shute has dropped down the order a bit. This will be what happened to Sean Shute. Although that might have happened after. Yeah, it was. This will be it. Langford's got past already at this point, but Sean Shute pulled up alongside him. There's a bit of net code there, but that sends him off the track. Was that too late a move from Tordock? I'm not too sure. We have seen similar moves to that earlier in the night. But it puts him into 3rd place. William Guthrie is up to 4th place here. This is a real good start to the race for William Guthrie, and he is someone trying to go for the top 5 in the championship. He's up against the likes of Harry Langford and Jack Pittas. Jack Pittas with a bit of a slow start to this race, 10th at the moment. There's still a long way to go. Now, bronze category is hottening up a little bit as Oliver Forsström is up into the lead. Jonathan Berry is 2nd, and Stephen de Grevelier has dropped to 3rd. So let's see if we can find out what's happened to Stephen de Grevelier. Here we go. Something's happened here to Stephen de Grevelier to lose the lead. Oh, he hits the curb on the inside, and that's enough to lose control of the car. Whoa, and drivers swerving around to avoid him, and that's enough to drop him to 3rd place. Might even be some floor damage to go with that. But 4th place is charging on him now. That's Gabriele Papaconstantino to the inside of Stephen de Grevelier to try and take 3rd place away. Pretty fair move from Papaconstantino so far. As we go into Rahal corner, Stephen de Grevelier can do nothing but let him go on that one. But swooping back behind Stephen de Grevelier now is Stein Vatens. Oh, door barging as they head into the corkscrew. Still going. Stephen de Grevelier's not giving up. But Steinvater's got the inside for the next corner, and this has been a miserable 2 laps from Stephen de Gravelia. Down to 5th he goes, and he's got Elwyn Sykes behind him as well. The Steinvatens up to 4th place, the race 1 winner. The championship leader, importantly to all of these drivers in bronze category, is leading right now, and Jonathan Berry puts the fastest lap in the race. Now, we haven't seen much battling this season between Jonathan Berry and Oliver Forsström. They've often been separated on the track and not been battling that much, so this could be the battle between two of arguably the quickest drivers in the bronze category this season. Let's monitor it for now, but we will move back to the gold category shortly as Langford is closing in on Jamie Dory for what could be the lead of the race. Here we go. This might be a move from Jonathan Berry, is for the lead of the bronze category, and through he goes. Forsström is not contending it that much. Oh, and Tordock is off the track, and Adam Wilson-Weir is off the track as well. This is Tordock here. Similar to Stephen de Gravelia, and Adam Wilson-Weir saw it happen ahead of him and reacted, but it was ultimately the wrong reaction, although in the heat of the moment, it can't really help how you naturally, instinctively react to these sort of things. Phil McDougall in the silver category, just reporting on them, fastest lap of the race, so he is gaining on Brandon Vincent-Squibb and Alan McCain at the moment. And meanwhile in the gold category, no move yet from Langford on Jamie Dory, but lurking behind them, who's really caught them at a rate of knots in the last few minutes, is William Guthrie. So we could see a decent battle between Guthrie and Langford, although Langford's pace at the end of the qualifying and sprint race wasn't quite probably as fearsome as I would say as William Guthrie's right now on the track. Benji McCluskey in 5th place, he's moved up the order quite well, and race 1 winner Stefan Vessels tagging on behind here, but losing out to his rivals at the moment as he makes a move on Gavin Gardner. The two Ferraris head to head. Vessels has made it through, and that will promote him to 6th place, still behind Benji McCluskey. Stefan Vessels to hang on to his championship. He needs a bit more luck than what he's getting against Benji McCluskey and in fact other rivals like Harry Langford as well. He needs more luck. Currently not quite going his way, but look at this. This is the top 3. Guarding the inside is Langford, but Guthrie's going for it here. Big dive to the inside from the full tilt driver, and somehow they've given each other plenty of room, but I think William Guthrie might well have got this. He has. Onto the racing line he goes. Into 2nd place is William Guthrie. And this is what we saw from him back in the prototype days of Next Gen Racing Season 5. He was notorious for getting through the pack so quickly in these feature races. And he's doing it before they meet up at the back markers of the bronze category. They're not too far away. But as he gains on Jamie Dory, heading out of the penultimate corner of this lap, well, he wasn't able to make a move just then, but Harry Langford is hanging on behind. Let's see what happens going into turn 1. This is the end of lap 10. Turn 1. Oh, Jamie Dory's gone very wide there. I think that might... Oh, no, not quite. Jamie Dory's going to fight this back. We know Jamie Dory quite well here at Next Gen Racing. Doesn't give up so easily. Hangs on for now. Langford just waiting for this ahead to unfold. Guthrie looking around. Hasn't gone for it just yet. Now, surprisingly, we are seeing more overtakes at Laguna Seca than I thought we were going to get. You know, a lot of real daring overtakes. We haven't seen that for the move for the lead just yet from Guthrie, albeit early days. Just in the background there was Gaz Williams, McCluskey and Stefan Vessels. The more these three battle, the more Williams and McCluskey close in, and next-gen driver Jamie Dory will be aware of that. He'll try and hold up Will Guthrie as much as he can for as long as he can. Keeps going a little bit wide into the corkscrew there. It's a little bit of a later entry into the corner, but it is giving him a good exit from the corner. Phil McDougall is closing in on second place, and bronze category is all switching around a little bit here. Oliver Forsström is down to third place now in this category. Might have to come back to that and see what's happened. This is currently a big battle for the lead in gold category. Jamie Dory at the front of this. He often ends up at the front of these feature races early on. Oh, there's a bit of a dive there from Guthrie. Wasn't going to work out though. It's quite a jerky corner to overtake, especially at that angle. But Jamie Dory, NXTCC is more his pedigree, and these GT3s is not really his pedigree chum, probably, for Jamie Dory, he'll probably think. But he still is no slouch and a great person to race against. Take it from me, racing against him on Race Room for many seasons in the past. Touring cars is certainly more his thing, but currently he's leading this GT3 race, and he has held off William Guthrie now for 3 laps. Guthrie's trying to set something up here. Quite yet. Waiting for a mistake maybe from Jamie Dory. And there it is. There it is. Oh, and a bit of a nudge from Harry Langford as well. And it did put William Guthrie sideways, as Jamie Dory stays ahead for the moment. Oh no, and he spins it round. It was a little bit too much through that corner. Oh, I think Jamie Dory's done the right thing there. Now take note, other people. That was the right thing to do from Jamie Dory there. He kept his car on the outside there, but we carry on. Langford and Guthrie will carry on for the lead. Guthrie now takes it. Now there was no contact to cause Jamie Dory's spin there. It's just one of those where it just completely switched around on him when he touched the outside gravel heading out of the Rahal corner. But that did help Gaz Williams and Ben McCluskey close in a little bit. But are they close enough? Oh, Gaz Williams really outbroke himself there. Now Ben McCluskey won't be able to challenge that. But if these three can latch on to the back of Langford and Guthrie, it might be could even be a 5-way fight for the top spot here. Got Jack Pittas there lurking in the wings as well. Don't write him off either. Leading the bronze category now is Jonathan Berry. Just trying to see. Oliver Forsström is really struggling here. This would be him losing third place to Stein Vatens, the race 1 winner, so this really isn't working out for Oliver Forsström tonight. He goes wide there. This might just be a track that isn't suiting Oliver Forsström tonight. But Vatens and John Berry will take this. Vatens has probably got more of an opportunity at rivaling the championship, being only 24 points down at this point is Stein Vatens. Oh, as it bunches up there. That's Papa Constantino and Paul Williams. Papa Constantino's trying to make his way past the silver category driver. He's through. Stein Vatens decides to pit now. Right, okay. So he is within window, so he's going to be okay, but he's decided to pit early to get himself out of the traffic. That might end up being a good choice. We'll have to see. It depends how well the outlaps go for him. But Jonathan Berry currently is checking out in the bronze category. Meanwhile, in the silvers, Brandon Vincent-Squibb really is throwing the hammer down, getting a bit of revenge in this race, I feel. It was a questionable incident for him in the previous race, but these would be the points regained for that. And it's getting closer between Phil McDougall, the race 1 winner, and Alan McCain, second place right now, being hunted down by Phil McDougall, just behind in the mean green machine. William Guthrie has just put in the fastest lap of the race, and he's actually gapped Langford quite a bit there. That's not going to be what McCluskey and Vessels will want to see, but at the same time, McCluskey and Vessels will know that their championship fight isn't with Guthrie at the moment, being that he's missed 3 rounds. Only 1 race win this season actually for Guthrie, and that was the endurance round last time at Daytona, but I feel like more are going to come. And if there is a season 9, see William Guthrie for the whole thing, and if so, we'll see Guthrie, Langford, McCluskey, Vessels, maybe even others going for wins and championship battles. No news currently on a next season, and even if I knew, I probably wouldn't tell you, but yeah, nothing to report at the moment. Now, this is the battle for silver category, second place. Response lap there from Langford, fastest lap of the race, 4/10 quicker, or 3.5 tenths quicker than Guthrie on that last lap. Puts him back within a second, Guthrie. So we still watch the battle for second place, or the emerging battle for second place. Phil McDougall has closed in about 3 seconds over the last 5 to 10 laps. You can just see Phil McDougall is using a bit more of the track there than Alan McCain is. Will use up his tyres a little bit more, will it, for McDougall, but will be faster on the track. Come back to the silver battle a little bit later on. Actually, we will switch back because it's quite close between them as they head towards the corkscrew, nearly to the inside. I think Alan McCain actually had a bad exit from Rahal there, but he got away with it. And we are nearing pit stop territory. We saw Steinvaten's already in the pits. There are other drivers in the pits I can just see there. Stephen Fry's having a pretty good recovery race here. 7th place at the moment. 2 teammates just ahead of him as well. And Stephen Fry is meant to be on Celebrity Traitors right now, but instead he's here, and he's actually got more chance of winning this race than Stephen Fry does of winning the Traitors, let's be honest. The two are not to be mixed up. Stephen Fry's actually been one of the, I would say, outstanding performers this season. He's really improved as the season has gone on, racking up points left, right and centre, and he was 5th in the championship. As we've got to switch back to here, we have just about missed it, but we'll get a replay. We'll come back to it. Yes, Stephen Fry is fighting for the top 5 in the championship, but these two are fighting for 2nd in the race. Let's see what's happened to Alan McCain there. Good exit from the corner from Phil McDougall, and he was allowed to go outside by McCain. Really not much McCain could do there. He could have held the outside, but he probably chose to guard the inside, thinking Phil McDougall will try for the inside for the corkscrew. But no, Phil McDougall's through. And he's having a phenomenal night, is Phil. And they are closing in on Brandon Vincent-Squibb. I don't know if he's made a mistake or not. But less than 2 seconds between them now. From Gaz Williams, now from Benji McCluskey. Benji McCluskey will know the healthy lead he's got in the championship. At this point, he just needs to maintain it. He needs nothing getting in his way, nothing scuppering his races. No internet disconnections either. He knows how to win these championships. Did it 2 seasons on the trot, 1 in the prototypes, season 5, season 6 for these GT3s. He missed out by half a lap due to his internet disconnection last season. This season he's got a very healthy lead in the championship. In fact, it grew to 37 points at the end of the previous sprint race. Stone, who had an impressive sprint race, second place for him there, is now in the pits. He's taking his stop now, so other drivers might do similar. Let's just see what happens in the bronze category here. Jonathan Berry stays out, Papa Constantino stays out. Likewise, Oliver Forsström. So you might see here with the gold category drivers catching up with the bronze category drivers, they might choose to duck out soon in order not to lose too much on-track pace, passing other cars and back markers. They might choose to relinquish a little bit of track position. Frantically flashing the lights there is William Guthrie. Now, in traditional racing, they do say that the blue flag is merely an informational flag to let you know that you are about to be lapped. And if it's a stationary blue flag, that means you've got a bit of time before you catch you up, but if it's a flashing blue light or a wave blue flag, it means they're right behind you. But in this series, the blue flag is a signal to you are obliged to get out of the way of the leaders coming through, but you must do it in a safe location and in a safe manner. Be deemed to be safe in real life. Now, Jonathan Berry has pulled the trigger into the pits. He goes. He will relinquish the lead of the race here. Gabriel Papaconstantino will continue on, but Jonathan Berry will take his one scheduled stop now, just before the halfway point in this race. Now it will yet to be seen if pitting earlier is better or worse. It has been a bit mixed this season. We saw some we are seeing actually some alternate strategies in the endurances, which is actually really cool to see. We're seeing some drivers pitting earlier who are actually rewarding from that. Brandon Vincent-Squibb has come into the pits. That'll hand the lead to the race to Phil McDougall. You've just seen the green car pass on by. None of the gold category drivers are in the pits just yet. They are passing through the back markers now. That's Jason Raaf that William Guthrie has just passed. Quite nerve-wracking for these drivers moving past or being passed by the back markers here at Laguna Seca. It's quite tricky. And look at that. That's one getting out of the way there and has nothing, can do nothing but just tour on the side of the road. William Guthrie ducks out into the pit, so as does Langford, so does Gaz Williams. Benji McCluskey He always manages to, but he's going on for another lap. So is Stefan Wessels. What about Phil McDougall in the silver category? He's got a bit of a lead over Alan McCain, but he's up against Brandon Vincent-Squibb here, who has already pitted. So now Phil McDougall is pitting. Alan McCain has stayed out. He saved an extra lap, and they've just ticked over the halfway point in this race, as everyone. Keep an eye on Papa Constantino as well, as he's up against Jonathan Berry. Goes on for another lap. I do wonder what would be better. If you're in open air, you might as well carry on as much as you can. At this point in the race, being in open air is the more advantageous scenario. So here's Brandon Vincent-Squibb. And there is Phil McDougall. He's off the limiter and he's heading down, but it's a very slow turn around turn number 1 here. And he's going to be on cold tyres or cooled down tyres. They don't change tyres traditionally, but they will be cold and he will have to warm them back up. But he's back out ahead of Brandon Vincent-Squibb at the moment. So that's worked out really well for Phil McDougall. Can he get the double tonight? We haven't seen them that often this season from any category. Can he do it? And can he get the Grand Slam? He got pole position, he won the sprint race, he got the fastest lap. Can he get the fastest lap of this race and the win? Now, Stefan Wessels and McCluskey are in the pits. It means William Guthrie. Well, he's already passed on by. And here goes Stefan Wessels. He's in front of Benji McCluskey here. And Gaz Williams will stay behind. So, Steph Wessels has done very, very well here. He might have fueled a lot less than the rest of these, which we've seen this season is quite risky. But he's got himself into 3rd place here. But this might have been, well, we'll find out. There's a stroke of genius from Steph Wessels. Oh, and there's a spin up ahead there. That's Wesley Lewin. It's not, oh my word, that was close. Nearly reversed it in front of 2 and 3 here in this race. That really wouldn't have been a wise thing to do. This is side by side between Makoda and Alan McCain, and Makoda has got in front of Alan McCain here. So McCain's now off the podium spot. Makoda, last round's winner, Daytona, is up into the top 3 here. Bronze category, Papa Constantino got back out and is a long way clear of Stein Vatens here. And Jonathan Berry behind. So Jonathan Berry has lost out quite a bit there, so pitting early really didn't help. And I think that's been a trend here for a lot of the positions. Pitting earlier has not been the best thing to do. It's cost Jonathan Berry and it's cost Brandon Vincent-Squibb in the silver category. There's a meatball flag for someone on the standings there. That's Matt Gatter, and he's out of the race. Oh dear, that's decided late to go into the pits there and probably broke a little bit early there. But that'll be what's cost his race. Not sure who made contact with him. That'll be the end of Matt Gatter's race. Gabriel Papaconstantino here, who had a brilliant endurance race last time out at Daytona. Seems to be having a pretty good feature race here, but it's 3 Lamborghinis in a row in this bronze category. Stein Vatens, who won the sprint race, second place here. This has been a pretty good night for him, points-wise. That's definitely going to put him into more contention for the bronze championship. Seeing as Jonathan Berry and Papaconstantino aren't really in it. But he's getting points on Oliver Forsström, the championship leader. You feel can afford to lose some points tonight, but doesn't want to get too comfortable with that. And second in the championships heading into tonight, Samy Ariba's not racing tonight. So Sammy's drop round will be Laguna Seca. Now, things have happened by the looks of it in the gold category. This is McCluskey passing Langford. This is Langford trying to get by Steph Vessels by the looks of it. Right, let's go back. Oh, that was going into Rahal. Then going wide there is Langford. Vessels gets alongside. We'll continue with it, because not long after this, McCluskey makes his way past Langford. Constantina's up a little bit at the corkscrew. Oh, loses grip, and that's it. That just allows McCluskey to pounce. McCluskey's in third place here. He's going to try and get by Stefan Vessels. But McCluskey is in front of the people that he realistically needs to finish in front of. And you do get this feeling, well I do anyway, that this might be one of those races where feel like the championship's going to fall into the hands of McCluskey here, being that he's ahead of all his rivals that he needs to be. I mean, Stefan Vessels is ahead of him, and Vessels isn't quite out of it, but 49 point deficit in the championship. That's more than a round's worth, more than a sprint and feature race round's worth. And there's a lot of traffic to contend with here, so things might get a little bit more interesting. There might be more drivers getting pounced on by other drivers for position. You see McCluskey there flashing the lights to Mike Riedner to get by. Oh, and there's a spin on the inside there. That's Jopi Siemens. There's a lot of that happening here, and it's all happening right in front of the gold category drivers, which must be unnerving for them. And it is the nature of Laguna Seca here. It is a narrow track where touching the gravel is just going to spin the car around. There's lots of dips in the corners, lots of crests which are going to unsettle the car as well. But next week we move to Brands Hatch, which is a significantly faster track. Still short, but a fast track, wider track as well. It's going to be interesting seeing these cars around there. We've never done Brands Hatch in these GT3s. It's actually the first time we're visiting here, Laguna Seca. For the time I've been commentating, anyway. A lot of tracks this season have had their firsts. Thruxton, Laguna Seca, Brands Hatch. Sebring makes it an anticipated return. I think Sebring's one of the best endurances on iRacing. Only 12 hours, so you can share across drivers, and it's probably less of a commitment than the 24 hours is, but there is something special about doing 24-hour races. Okay, so let's check in on fastest laps as well, because we were going to check in on Phil McDougall's ability to get the Grand Slam tonight. Now, at the moment, it's George Stone who holds that away from him. Phil McDougall has the second fastest lap in category. And he really isn't that far away from getting it back. But I probably should I'll probably make note of it for the next round, but I need to find out who this season has had Grand Slams, and by that I mean pole position, fastest laps, and race wins. Now, the endurance rounds don't really count on that. been clinical racing from William Guthrie. 20 minutes away from maybe another race win. And we saw it seasons ago when he was in the prototypes that he's just able to get through the pack so well. There's some drivers who opt to do that, and there's some drivers who opt to take the more, you know, reserved, conservative approach of just picking one off at a time, keeping their overall pace up. You see that from McCluskey, and it more often than not works for him. But if you are able to get through as quick as you can, that really can be, although the more risky strategy, that tends to be one that can pull off a win like this. That's currently going in the way of Guthrie. You just see he's keeping himself away from the curbs there. He's just trying to keep his car quite contained. And obviously, they don't want to get off-track penalties either, because they will be limited to... let me remind myself what the limit of instant points is. 20. So when you get to 20 instant points, you have to serve a drive-through penalty. And that'll be what drivers are wary of getting here. And Laguna Seca, it is quite easy to get those off-track penalties. We saw quite a few at Spa-Francorchamps as well, because that's one that invites you to use the off-tracks a little bit as well. Daytona is a little bit like that as well, but in the endurance rounds you get 30. See if McCluskey can put a challenge in on Stefan Wessels. Now, McCluskey and Wessels have battled many times, particularly last season. They were almost inseparable last season. And really, either one of them could have won last season. Now, Stefan Wessels has had a little bit less luck this season. Well, I say less luck, he's had more bad luck, I would say, this season, actually. McCluskey had a tricky start to this season. Probably a slower start than he's had in previous seasons, but in this middle part, as we approach the latter part, he's done rather well. But in the silver category, Brandon Vincent-Squibb, who's still only 1.5 seconds behind Phil McDougall, is just ahead there, so it's not out of the question for him. But this, I feel, similar to McCluskey, this will be one hand on the trophy tonight. Now, round 8 will still need to go well for the two aforementioned drivers. But I would say they're the two drivers who are in the most control here in this championship right now. And Brands Hatch will be an important round for the two of them, both at their home races. Well, what they would consider their home races anyway. And in the bronze category, well, he hasn't had quite the night that he would have wanted, and he didn't have quite the good endurance round at Daytona, but Oliver Forsström will still be holding the championship lead out of tonight as it stands. He's not going to actually lose that many points to Steinvatens tonight. He'll lose some, but not a huge amount. No, we'll find out later on when the standings are published. They were updated immediately after the sprint race earlier, so we might get the same from this feature race tonight. Got a quarter of the race remaining to go. Drivers have really got to be careful at this point. Oliver Forsström went hugely over the track limits then. You can just see he's backing off a little bit during the corner just to make sure that he doesn't push it too hard off the track. As 1X's gets you closer to serving a drive-through penalty. That is William Guthrie behind Oliver Forsström there to be lapped. Now it's getting rather close between these three here. George Stone, 4th position, having quite a good night. You've got Alan McCain right behind him, and Nigel Stock's not too far behind here in his brand new Corvette. But look at that, Alan McCain is forcing George Stone to defend. He's going to defend the inside for the final corner, but will he power it around the outside? That's what he's trying here. You know what, that might work because you can get a good exit, but you're going to be on the outside for turn number 1. They are side by side across the line. I think Alan McCain's a little bit quicker down this straight at the moment. Who's later on the brakes? Oh, they're pretty dead even. If McCain can keep it alongside, he'll challenge for turn 2. Oh, he's going to give it a go. Well, he's just forced it to the inside there, but it's worked. And that'll get him back in front of George Stone. He's going to have to guard the inside from that corner, but George Stone has got it just back alongside, but no, not enough alongside. That was a bad exit, actually, there from Alan McCain, and George Stone didn't have a good exit either. Nigel Stock's on his inside. There we go, in the Corvette to the inside. And that is both Crest Autosport drivers up 1 place each. Quite a long way away from top 3, but it'll still be good points for the 2. Langford's probably not had the night he probably would have wanted. He's 2nd place in the championship heading into tonight. He's trying to hang on to it from Stefan Wessels, who, coming into this race right now, was 12 points ahead. He'll lose some points to Stefan Wessels again. But it's definitely safe to say this feature race has gone a little bit better than the sprint race has. It could well be that heading out of tonight, if my calculations are correct, and yeah, actually it will be that I think there's going to be a swap of position, as things stands right now anyway, there will be a swap of championship positions between Wessels and Langford. Langford's in a little bit of trouble here from Gaz Williams. Not that Gaz Williams, the host of the series, is putting him in trouble, but on the track he's really threatening his position here. But it might be that out of tonight Wessels is back into 2nd in the championship. Place he hasn't really seen for quite a while because it started off pretty grim in this championship for Wessels. Gaz Williams has had a good turn of form as well, though. That's certainly worth mentioning. Started the season a bit quiet, but this part of the season he's contending with the likes of Pittas, Langford here. I assume he's trying to put himself in a bid for 5th place in the championship. He'd be up against Jack Pittas, but he's got a lot of points to make up if he wants to get that 5th place. Now, hang on a minute. Silver category, it's getting close. It has come down bit by bit each lap between Phil McDougall and Brandon Vincent-Squibb. On that last lap, 1 second quicker. Oh no, we're comparing the wrong driver there. I'm not sure what he's doing there, but yeah. So the Grand Slam might not be there just yet for Phil McDougall. He's struggling a little bit to hang on to 1st place at the moment. To go in this race. Vincent-Squibb upset Phil McDougall here. The last few laps been quite impressive. Particularly with back markers, that might be having an impact on things as well. But also there might be some drivers trying to fuel save as well. I wonder if Phil McDougall's also trying to do that. One driver I do wonder if they're going to have to fuel save later in this race is Steph Vessels, because his pit lane time seemed insanely shorter. Yeah, a whole 2 seconds less than Benji McCluskey. So it certainly seems that Vessels has put in less fuel, because they don't take on tyres in the box. Not for these feature races, they don't need to anyway. But see if there's some drivers start to struggle towards the end of this race. Let's just have a listen to Phil McDougall, see if he is lifting and coasting. He is, yeah, that sounds like lift and coast to me. Mind you, that Mercedes has got a strange engine on it. Not so much on the latter part of that lap then. He attempts to lap Stevie de Gravelia, who I've just noticed actually is racing my race number. How dare he? He's opened up the gap a little bit, has McDougall. Maybe he had to save a bit of fuel. Maybe. Back to the gold category here. Still no move yet from McCluskey. I feel that he doesn't need to. Oh, there's a car in the wall there. I think that might have been Matthew Addy facing the wrong way in the wall there. Huge battles going on the track. It's just this one we're monitoring here. Also the battle for first potentially between McDougall and Vincent-Squibb. Vincent-Squibb's clawed back a little bit of time on this lap. And flows between them two. Oh, that's an off track if ever I've seen one. Got to be careful with them at this point in the race. As we mentioned about looming instant point limits. Actually, oh, he's gone off again, has Brandon Vincent-Squibb. He might be struggling a little bit now. Either pushing too hard. Things are just becoming a bit fatigued, maybe the tyres. Benji McCluskey is actually slipping away from Stefan Vessels a little bit as well. And so getting a little bit close between Papa Constantino and Jonathan Berry as well. There he is closing in. He had that spin on the final lap of race 1. Oh, that's not. No, that's Rob Savage going off the track there. Now Rob Savage was in championship top 3 potential before tonight. I'm not sure how it'll be after tonight, but he's a former race winner this season. Oh, hang on, Jonathan Berry's in the pits. Now, is it a splash and dash? Is it a drive-through penalty? I didn't see a black flag on him. Oh, and he had to nudge forward there to get into his box. I think it's a splash and dash of fuel for Jonathan Berry. Yep, it looks like it is. So that's going to cost him. In fact, it's going to cost him a whole podium place as well. Painful, absolutely painful, but we are going to see it maybe from other drivers. I think Steph Vessels might be one of them. I wonder if that is why McCluskey is just reserving himself a little bit here. Now, the thing is, at this point on iRacing, having a little less fuel does make the difference. That'll be what Steph Vessel's trying to get, and it was also just the pure advantage of 2 seconds quicker in the pit lane is even bigger difference when you're out on the track, and that's what's got him into second place here. Oh no! You all saw that! And past goes McCluskey. Oh, he hit the curb way too hard there, did Steph Vessels, and he's lost it. He's lost second place. This will be a better view of it. We've seen so many hit that curb tonight. We've seen Stephen de Gravelia hit it. We've seen other drivers hit it. And there we go. That swaps the places round. And that all the more helps Benji McCluskey's championship. Albeit by a few points. But also in the silver category, Brandon Vincent-Squibb is getting closer and is within half a second, give or take, from Phil McDougall. Now that's Ben Altria at the back of them. He's in the gold category. But there's no reason why Ben Altria can't get stuck into a battle here. Now, there's only going to be 2 laps remaining in this race, so really not that much time for Brandon Vincent-Squibb to get this done, if he can even attempt to get it done. But it's been an interesting night. It's been probably one of the more exciting races, rounds of the season, I would say, just because the track has been, and its elements have just been a factor on the racing tonight. Bring back Laguna Seca next season, I'd say. Now we're going to check back on this very shortly. William Guthrie will receive the white flag. Final lap. We haven't covered much of him in this race, but he has had a dominant race tonight. Ben Altria has just fallen off from the back of those suit. There we go. That's the spin heading out of the corkscrew. It just lets go of him heading out of it. So close between these two. We're going to keep an eye on William Guthrie. He'll be heading towards the win of the race. Phil McDougall, he's not going to get the Grand Slam tonight. I don't think he's going to. Really, really wrestling with that car at this point. Squibb was close there. He thought about the move, and Phil McDougall half guarding the inside. we are going to have to switch away because our gold category winner is going to come through, and it is William Guthrie. Second time this season. For the late entry into the season, it's a second win for him. And it comes here at Laguna Seca. Championship leader Ben McCluskey comes through second place in the gold, and Steph Vessels third place, and he might well take second in the championship as a result. Now the silver category battle. Can it be in the final corner? Can he do it? He guards the inside. Does Phil McDougall? That might have been enough, or will it? Because a big undercut from the inside there. Can he get it alongside and past? No, he can't. Phil McDougall hangs on, but I feel like Brandon Vincent-Squibb would have wanted another lap there, but a good flash of lights there, mark of respect between the two drivers. It is Brandon Vincent-Squibb who comes through second place, but it will definitely be one hand on the trophy for him after tonight. Bartosz Makoda will come through in third place, another good night for him. And Gabriel Papaconstantino is due to come through here as bronze category winner because Stijn Vatens and Oliver Forsström have been lapped and have already finished the race. So he's finished on the lead lap here, the only one in the bronze category to do so. And it will be another win. He came back, returning to the series last time out at Daytona, and he took it with a win. And he's going to take another win here. In the bronze category, well done to Gabriel Papaconstantino. And Stijn Vatens will take second place in category. And Oliver Forsström got past Jonathan Berry in the end to take third place. So let's get to the results of our feature race tonight. It's William Guthrie with the feature race winning gold category. Benji McCluskey was second position, holding on to the championship lead. Steph Vessels may well take second place in the championship tonight from Harry Langford in fourth place in this race. Gaz Williams fifth from Jack Pittas. Gavin Gardner in seventh place from Ben Outra. Jamie Dory in 9th position from Adam Wilson-Weir, rounding off the top 10. Sean Shute in 11th from Craig Tordock in 12th. And non-finisher was Brandon Schmidt. Silver category, close finish in the end between Phil McDougall and Brandon Vincent-Squibb. 0.156, real close between them two. But double wins for Phil McDougall tonight. Pole position, race win, and a race win. Second place, Brandon Vincent-Squibb continues to lead the championship and in fact will extend his lead in the championship potentially from the other drivers below him tonight. Bartosz Makoda, late entry to the championship, but has put in some good results this season. Third place in this race as well to add to that. Alan McCain, fourth place from Nigel Stock, and George Stone in sixth position. A lap or more down were George Stone, Jason Raaf, Stephen Fry, Matthew Addy, Mike Reedner rounding off the top 10, Paul Williams, Wojciech Kerp, Wesley Lewin, and DNFs for Mark Baker, Jopi Siemens, and Matthew Cheverton. Bronze category now, and it's another win for Gabriel Papaconstantino representing WeatherTech Racing. Takes another win, second of the season in 3 races for him. Stijn Vatens, second position, a strong night for him, first and second tonight, with Oliver Forsström picking up a podium in this feature race. Jonathan Berry, fourth position from Stephen de Gravelia in fifth. Elwyn Sykes in 6th position from Robert Savage. Dirk Wagner 8th. Josh Down in 9th from Matt Gatter, rounding off the top 10. And DNFs for Jochen Siegert, Jaroslav Pataluk, and Mark Sykes. So, let's see. Are we going to get... Yeah, it's lightning quick now. These results update is fantastic. So, let's go to the championship situation as we head out of tonight and into the next round, which is going to be Brands Hatch Grand Prix circuit. But in the gold category, it is a lead for Benji McCluskey of 40 points from Harry Langford, so it's not quite a championship round ahead, but it near enough is. Harry Langford does hang on to second place. In actual fact, I was wrong in the championship, and it is by 11 points from Stefan Vessels. Dominic Pesta drops to 4th position as a result of the miss round tonight, and Jack Pittas is 5th position still. William Guthrie moves up to 6th position past Gaz Williams in 7th. Brandon Schmidt is 8th from Adam Wilson-Weir, who moves back into the top 10 ahead of Gavin Gardner. Silver category, and it's Brandon Vincent-Squibb in first position, and he has got a very healthy lead in the championship by 55 points over Jason Raaf, who still holds second in the championship, but only 4 points ahead of Phil McDougall, who had a very successful night tonight. Alan McCain in fourth position, ahead of Stephen Fry, who's only 1 point ahead of Matthias Smolny, who didn't race tonight. Wojciech Kerp is 7th from Bartosz Makoda, who gets himself into that top 10. Matthew Addy is 9th, and Nigel Stock, who took the 50-point penalty due to change of car, is now 10th. Bronze category next, and it's Oliver Forsström, as we said, still leading the championship, but 14 points now only ahead of Stein Vatens, who had a pretty good night, scoring 40 points tonight. Samy Ariba didn't race tonight, but he drops to 3rd place. This will be his drop round, and Stephen de Gravelia into 4th place he moves, and he is 9 points behind 3rd spot. Rob Savage in 5th position from Jonathan Berry, who had a bit of an up and down night. He is 6th. Jochen Seeger is 7th from Elwyn Sykes in 8th. Zara McGuinness, another missed round for her, is now 9th. And Gabrielle Papaconstantino in 2 rounds has already popped up into the top 10 in the championship. And in the team's championship, Quatermass continue to lead, but their lead has been significantly slashed tonight by Mission R. Wins all round from Stein Vatens and Brandon Vincent-Squibb there, getting them up a long way clear of 3rd place and much closer to 1st place. Only 14 points between them, which really isn't much. But Quatermass still leads after tonight. CSA Team Woza 3rd place, with Stefan Wettvessel scoring the majority of their points tonight. Missionar powered by Mords is 4th place, with George Stone scoring all their points tonight, and Crest Autosport Porsche back into the top 5 tonight. So there we go, that's the championship standings heading out of tonight. We'll remind ourselves of them a little bit later on. Let's get back to the start of the race for the replay of the race, while we have some interviews as well. So we'll see who we're going to get interviews with tonight. We have got some race winners, actually, so that's good to see. So we'll get chatting to them very, very shortly. So we are going to first of all chat to our race winner tonight in the gold category in this feature race. We're going to chat to William Guthrie. So William, first of all, can you hear us, mate?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear, mate.
Oh, hang on a minute, we've got a device problem. Hang on, you're going through my speakers, which is not ideal.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, I probably could have checked it before the race, but I decided not to for some reason. Anyway, we're good now. Welcome back to the comms booth, William. Thank you very much for joining us. A win in the feature race there. Had to work quite hard for it. It's quite a busy start to the race, as we saw there. But how was it for you? Was it an easy one for you tonight, or quite tricky?
That was one of the hardest races, or most stressful races I've ever done. The start wasn't too bad. Getting through the pack wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But see, those last 15 laps, God almighty, the Mustang was terrible. I was looking at the gap to Stephen behind, bricking it. Just watching the gap slowly come down. That was terrifying. It was worse than playing Outlast. That was proper scary. The car was just terrible, but I pulled through in the end.
So what was going wrong with the Mustang, particularly tonight, that was affecting later in the race then?
I couldn't really tell you, but I think it's just the tires turned into jelly. I couldn't trust the car. I was underdriving it like hell. I think the Ferrari, with being mid-engine, was much better suited. The Mustang, I think, just baked the tires. They were just cheese those last 15 laps. It was not nice, but like I said, I made it work.
Interesting indeed. Well, we'll see how it gets on next week then. But what about the middle of the race there, the pit stop period? What was the strategy you opted for there? Because we don't often talk to drivers about this, but what was the strategy you thought about midway through the race that ultimately got you further up the grid?
Well, me and Ben, when we were sitting before the race started, we were sitting on the grid, we were debating whether we were going to take, I think it was either left or right hand side tires. I don't think you would have got all 4, but you could definitely at least get 2. And what I came in, it was one of those. In the end, I decided that we'd just see what the tires would be like, about maybe 3-4 laps before we came in. And I decided, right, these tires are all right. I'll just keep them on. But with hindsight, absolutely should have either took lefts or rights. Probably, with it being a anti-clockwise track, probably should have took right hand side tires. Would have been the best call, I think, but you know, it's hard to know in the moment, because it was kind of just, we're going to just see how it played out. I don't think me or Ben took tyres. In fact, I don't really think any of the top 5 took tyres. But tyres was absolutely, I think, probably the right call there, because they were awful those last, like, 15 laps.
All getting very interesting with iRacing advancing and the cars changing and that sort of thing. So let's talk about next week, Brands Hatch. It's still a very short circuit, probably a less technical circuit, but how do you think that's going to be next week?
Shouldn't be too bad. The Mustang get on quite well. I'm expecting to see Adam in the Lambo quite up high as well, because it'll suit that track. Anybody in a Porsche or a McLaren will be really happy. Lambo will probably be the best car in there. Mustang will probably be alright. The Ferrari will be good. Stephen will be happy. That'll be rapid as well, given how rapid it was around here tonight. But it'll be a very similar setup. Hopefully the tyres won't melt as much, but it'll be another one of those races where you really just have to hope the driver ahead makes a mistake rather than sort of going for the move.
And penultimate question: is there any frustration on your part that you didn't do the whole season? Because you're driving so well at the moment, Will. Is there a little part of you that thinks, "Oh, no, I wish I did all of the season now"?
I mean, I guess there's a wee bit of that, but to be honest with you, I was kind of just busy with life things when the season started a couple of months ago, and I kind of just went over my head, because before I went to the prototypes and GT3s, me, Jesse and Ben ran it, and then Jesse had to move house, so he had to step away from sim racing for a wee bit, and then it was just Ben, and it just kind of flew over my head. But I'll definitely do it next season because I'm enjoying it. But yeah, there was a wee bit of salt there that I missed the first 3 rounds, I think, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, I'm here to race. Whether I get a championship or not, I don't really care. It's about the racing and about the fun you have along the way with the lads. To me, it's not really winning races is cool and all, but I'd rather just have a bit of crack with the racing and be happy enough with that.
It's more fun when there's no pressure, isn't there?
Yeah, but yeah, as Ben said the same thing. He's enjoying driving the Aston because like there's no pressure on. He can just enjoy driving the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, floor is yours. Will, anybody who might be watching that you want to give a shout out to?
Yes, Amir, Welsh boy in the YouTube chat. He was my spotter for that race. He was very helpful. In fact, him and Nathan and Ben, actually, all 3 of them were in the comms with me. We were chatting about the race and other things. But yeah, I'd like to say thanks to Amir because he was my spotter for that race. He did a very good job.
And big up to the fellow Welsh people. Well done tonight, Will. We'll see you next time at Brands Hatch.
Thank you.
There we go. Another strong night for William, and part of me does wish he did the whole season, but as he said, life got in the way a little bit. We'd had big battles between him, Vessels, McCluskey, Dominic Pester as well, Langford. So maybe next season. Right, let's move on to our next interview of tonight, and we are going to chat to another race winner tonight. And it's a back-to-back race win, almost, you could say. But Gabriel Papaconstantino joins us in the comms booth now. Another bronze win, Gab. You must be over the moon with that tonight.
I am well happy with it, Alex. Yes, thank you very much. I am very chuffed.
Another strong win. It was looking a little bit close between you and Steinvatens at times. But the turning point might have been the pit stops there, but is that something you had planned, is to get the upper hand on the pit stops?
I think it was I've just been talking to Jonathan Berry in the waiting room, and I remember the turning point being I was sat behind him in P2, he was in P1, and he did fly off one of the curbs, the penultimate corner, and he went into pit, and I still had 3 laps left in the tank, so I thought I'll stretch this out as much as I can, come in, over fuel slightly to compensate, and then yeah, he had to splash and dash as well towards the end, so that gave me a bit more of a comfortable margin. So yeah, that definitely played a big part in it.
I asked a very similar question to William just then, but is there a little part of you that is a little bit frustrated that you couldn't do the first half of the season here? Because you're doing really well at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that just as I finished. I thought, yeah, but what if? But, you know, the only thing I can do is just keep running with this form and see if I can try and squeeze it all the way out to the end, and then next season try and go for gold.
Yeah, absolutely. And Will was also mentioning that the Lamborghini was seemingly pretty good tonight, and it might be pretty good next week as well. How was the Lambo in your hands? Did it seem to suit the track?
Fantastic, as usual. As we mentioned last time out, I absolutely love it, and yeah, iRacing have done a really good job with it, and it's very stable. It might not be the quickest on lap times, but it's so stable that in the long run it doesn't really matter. So yeah, it felt fantastic this week. I wasn't too sure coming off of Daytona if it would carry through to today, but I'm really glad that it has, and yeah, it's just brilliant. I love being back in it.
Excellent stuff. Well, what about Brands Hatch next week? I hear that it might be pretty good next week, so how are you feeling about that?
I unfortunately won't be doing that race next week.
Oh my word.
Yeah, I know. I did say that I was going to do the rest of the season, but I'm quite bogged down with quite a few things, so okay. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to manage next week, to be honest.
Okay, well,
but I would have really enjoyed it. I do love Brands, so I'm a bit bummed out about that. But yeah hey ho.
That is a big shame. But maybe Nürburgring, we'll see you next time. But the floor is yours now, Gab. Anybody you want to give a shout out to who might be watching the broadcast?
Yeah, just shout outs to the team, sponsors, Claremont, all the guys that were helping me through that race today. Shout out to my mum and dad back in Cyprus, watching as per usual, staying up quite late to watch these races. Girlfriend back in Germany, who's also staying up to watch the races now. And thank you, Alex, for providing, not many people do. Thank you for all the give you acknowledgement for what you do, but you do provide a great service for the live stream. So yeah, I just want to thank you as well.
Oh, thank you very much, mate. Well, enjoy your win tonight. We'll see you whenever we see you next.
yeah, cheers, mate.
There we go. Another strong night for the British Cypriot driver. And as we said earlier on in the championship standings, is already back into the top 10 in the championship. So you must feel that Gab really, really could have put a bid into the championship if he could have taken part in all of the season here. So a bit of a shame, really. We want championship battles. That's going to be the end of our interviews, actually. We have spoken to 2 race winners, which is more than satisfactory for me. But let's just have another roundup of our results and then the championship standings, and then we'll finish off the night. So the results tonight from gold category. It was William Guthrie, McCluskey and Vessels taking up the top 3 positions in the gold category. In the silver category, it was Phil McDougall taking 2 wins tonight from Brandon Vincent-Squibb in second place, following a low finishing position in the sprint race, and a good one in this feature race, so he more than made up for it. But Tosh Makoda in third position. Bronze category, and it's a win for Gabriel Papaconstantino, a very dominant win in the feature race there from Stein Vatens, who had a very good point scoring round for himself tonight, and championship leader Oliver Forsström is third place. And speaking of championship, let's have a look at the standings, which have been updated again by the seeming of things. But in the gold category, it is a lead in the championship for Benji McCluskey of 40 points from Harry Langford. Third place is Stefan Vessels. Dominic Pester down to 4th place, and Jack Pittas in 5th. And our race winner from the feature race tonight is up to 6th. That's William Guthrie. In the silver category, Brandon Vincent-Squibb leads the way by a long way. Do the maths, Alex. It's about a 55-point lead in the championship from Jason Raaf. Phil McDougall moves up to 3rd place, just 4 points behind Jason Raaf. The double race winner tonight has put in a big haul of points tonight. His best round of the season, in fact, to get himself 3rd place. Alan McCain in 4th place, and Stephen Fry, who is a little disappointed with his night tonight, is still 5th place. Bronze category, Oliver Forsström still leads by 14 points in the championship from Stein Vatens, who's had his best night of the season. Samy Ariba, who missed tonight, it would be his drop round tonight, but he's still in contention for those top 2 spots. Stephen de Grelly is 4th, and Rob Savage in 5th, and our sprint race winner, Jonathan Berry, is 6th. And the team's championship, It is a 14-point lead for Quatermass Motorsport, but Mission are scoring plenty of points tonight. Second place for them. And CS18 Woza, third position. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. That has been round 7 of the championship here at Laguna Seca. What a round it's been. It's been one of my favourite tracks that we visited this season. But what's up next? It's Brands Hatch Grand Prix. We're returning home. We're returning to Britain, to Kent for Brands Hatch Grand Prix, a track that has never actually featured in this championship for the time that I've been commentating anyway. Looking forward to that next week. Join us on NXTGEN Racing, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and don't forget to give us a like and or subscribe to the channels if you are not already. We'll be live from 7:40 UK time, evening that is, in 1 week from today on the 30th of October. This has been NXTGEN Racing GT3 Season 8. A big thank you to the partner sponsors and affiliates that include Powermax Racing, Mark Sykes Designs, Benji Sim Photos, Motorsport UK Esports, Sam Cases, Moser Racing, Joyce Design, Falconer PC, and Doble Motorcycles. This has been NXTGEN Racing. This has been round 7 of the GT3 Season 8 at Laguna Seca. Up next is Brands Hatch, and we'll see you then. Thank you for watching, and good night.
Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, that's all from us here at NXTGEN Racing, the home of clean and fair sim racing for all.